Chapter 9:30. Chapter 9:30. City Master Morong, other half-immortals, also nodded repeatedly. Chinyan feels somewhat doubtful and asked, "Why does the City Master have an idea about me?" "Brother Yin, don't say that I am your slave like before." Ing Qingyu said with smile, "Brother Yin, you don't know. The City Master 100 Pagoda City is a person who loves talented people. If he fancies a talented person, he will find a way to keep you in 100 Pagoda City." Hunchback, general manager, said, "That is why there are all kinds of talented people in 100 Pagoda City's City Master's manor. If you want the beast horn, it would be best if you don't let the City Master know that you are a venerable master." Another old man nodded and said, "Otherwise, in order to keep you here, he will surely find a way to get the beast horn and make you a guest elder. After a period of time, he will give you the beast horn. If that's the case, then this city lord is really an interesting person. I don't know much about this city master. Can you tell me about him?" Qin Yun is suddenly very interested in the city master. "Let's go, we will talk on the way," Ing Qingyu said. Soon after, Qin Yun followed these few half-immortals towards the city master's courtyard. On the way, Qin Yun heard these few old men talking about the city master. What caused Qin Yun to be amazed is that the city master is not only a sixth tribulation half-immortal, he was also a pagoda master of 100 Pagoda Sect. 100 Pagoda Sect has 100 pagoda. Inside each pagoda, there's at least one immortal origin. Inside the formidable pagoda, there are as many as 10. 100 Pagoda Sect has 100 immortal pagodas. Each of them have different strength. Some are very weak, some are very formidable. Therefore, there's a ranking in 100 Pagoda Sect. The city master of 100 Pagoda City once led a pagoda from rank 70 to rank 7. While Qin Yun is talking with these few old men, he has a general understanding of 100 Pagoda Sect's overall strength. It is much more formidable than he imagined. Just the number of immortal origins in 100 Pagoda Sect is several hundred. This caused him to be very shocked. Immortal origins are actually so abundant in Xian Domain. Nobody knows the name of the city master. We used to call him Pagoda Master Morong. Now that he is no longer the Pagoda Master, we call him City Master Morong. Ing Qingyu said, "How old is City Master Morong's birthday banquet?" Qin Yun asked, "Who knows how old he is?" In short, at his age, he would hold a birthday party every once in a while when he felt bored. He would also take this opportunity to gather his old friends from all over the world and see if any of them are still alive. The hunchbacked old man said with a smile. Ing Qingyu curled his lips and said, "Old Man Murong's birthday banquet is to receive gifts." This old fox was very cunning. "It looks like they're inviting us to a party, but they're actually taking advantage of this opportunity to make a huge profit." The hunchback general manager smiled and said, "Brother Yu, what gift are you going to give him? Just give him something. Old Man Murong is much richer than me, and his strength is also much stronger than me. Why should I, a poor weak chicken, give him a gift?" Ing Qingyu said very unhappily. This Ing Qingyu has always been very stingy. He's the kind of guy who carefully calculates. Qin Yun said with smile, "I don't need to give any gift, right? I came here with Brother Yu." The hunchback general manager said with smile, "Anyone who has an invitation card will more or less have to give it. You came here with Brother Yu, so you don't need to give it." The few of them chatted and laughed and arrived at the city master's large courtyard. The city master's manor is as big as a small city. There are all kinds of large and small gardens and small villas inside. It is very spacious. City Master Murong's residence is a small villa. There are at least 100 buildings inside. The people living inside are all geniuses that City Master Morong has used all kinds of means to lure over many years. Brother Yu's group have very good relationship with City Master Morong. The guards at the gate also recognize them and let them in directly. Qin Yun followed behind Brother Yu. On the way, he secretly paid attention to the people inside. As soon as he arrived, he discovered that there are at least 20 half-immortals inside the large courtyard. City Master Morong used to be a formidable pagoda master. He must know many half-immortals. Ing Qingyu's group walked towards a huge palace ahead. This palace looks like it is made of golden crystal. Under the sunlight, it flickered with golden light. It is very luxurious and grand. That is the hall where Old Man Murong receives guests. Ing Qingyu said, all the people who have good relationship with Old Man Murong should be gathered in that hall. The hunchback general manager said with smile. A bit later, it should also be open to the guests, right? It seems like there are 20 to 30,000 people attending the banquet. That hall ahead can completely accommodate them. An old man said. Very soon, Qinyan arrived at the hall. It is basically a huge indoor plaza. Moreover, it is decorated very luxuriously, dazzling with gold and jade. There are all kinds of dazzling things everywhere. There are many large pillars carved with mighty golden dragons. There are only a few hundred people here. Even if there are several thousand people, it would still look very empty. Old Man Murong, Ing Qingyu shouted from far away. Many people immediately looked over because someone who dares to call City Master Murong this way must have very good relationship with him. Very soon, a short-haired, gray-clothed old man quickly flew over from the distance. Because this gray-clothed old man has short hair and no beard, even though his hair is completely white, he gives people a very spirited feeling, adding that he is robust and tall, even though he is an old man. One look at him and you can feel that he is filled with vigor. This gray-clothed old man is City Master Murong. He looks like a 50 or 60-year-old ordinary old man. Compared to some very old half-immortals, it is very rare for him to be able to maintain this kind of vigorous appearance. It's you guys. It seems like you came late. City Master Murong said with bright smile. His eyes are deep and filled with faint might. He swept a glance at Ing Qingyu's group. Then his gaze slightly paused on Qinyan. Ing Qingyu said with smile, isn't it because we wanted to prepare a gift for you, old fart, that we came late? City Master Murong shook his head and smiled. I already said, you don't need to prepare any gift for me. I will soon cross seventh tribulation when I go to Immortal Desolate. Your gift will be useless. Ing Qingyu laughed loudly and said, so it is like this. Then I won't give you a gift this time. City Master Murong laughed, pulled Ing Qingyu back and said, you have prepared for so long. If I don't accept your gift, how can I be worthy of your meticulous preparation? Since you have prepared, I can only accept. Other half-immortals cannot help but laugh. Old fart, you have received many gifts from me, but I have never seen you give me anything good. Ing Qingyu said with face full of disdain. Brother you, my gift is light, but my affection is heavy. Everyone knows that your brother you has traveled all over Spirit Desolate. He has countless treasures in his hands. Even if I give you a gift, you won't like it. City Master Murong said with chuckle. Ing Qingyu groaned, then took out a box and handed it over. City Master Murong promptly opened it. Other few old men also came over and surrounded. An immortal fruit, not bad. But why is it only half? City Master Murong very happily said with smile. When I got it, I could not help but take a bite, then cut off one side and ate it. Anyway, you are also a half-immortal. Half an immortal fruit is enough for you. Ing Qingyu said, don't look down on it. It is very precious. Many thanks, brother you, City Master Murong said. Soon after, other half-immortals also gave their gifts to City Master Murong one after another. All of them are very precious. Although they cannot compare to Ing Qingyu's half-immortal fruit, City Master Murong is very happy. This little brother, where is your gift? City Master Murong looked at Qin Yun and said with smile. Qin Yun is stunned. This City Master Murong is not even letting him off. Old Man Murong, he is a youngster. What kind of gift do you have? Ing Qingyu said, youngster? Brother you, I know you know a venerable master, if my guess is not wrong. This youngster should be that venerable master. City Master Murong said with chuckle. Qin Yun is being stared at by City Master Murong's squinting eyes. He feels like he's being stared at by a fox. On the way, Ing Qingyu and others warned Qin Yun not to expose his identity. But now that City Master Murong has recognized him, it is not good to continue hiding. Greetings, City Master Murong. Qin Yun cupped his hands with smile. Greetings, venerable master. City Master Murong said with chuckle. Qin Yun took out a small wooden box and said, the gift is light, but the sentiment is heavy. I hope City Master Morong will not look down on my gift. Ing Qingyu and others also want to know what kind of gift Qingyun is giving. They're all looking at the box. City Master Morong opened the box and saw a Regent Origin Stone inside. Ing Qingyu said with smile, "A high-quality Regent Origin Stone. This is very precious to a martial king like Brother Yun. This is a very precious gift." City Master Morong said with smile, "Many thanks, Venerable Master." City Master Morong can also see that Qin Yun is a martial king. To a martial king, a high-quality Regent Origin Stone is indeed very precious. Therefore, City Master Morong is very grateful to Qin Yun. "Old man Morong, you don't need the Regent Origin Stone. Sell it to me at low price." Ing Qingyu said with smile, "How can I do that? This is a gift from a young and promising Venerable Master. I want it as a souvenir. Then again, I have several hundred grandchildren. Some of them are martial kings. I can also give it to them." City Master Morong finished speaking and called over a few youngsters, 5 men and 1 woman. All of them are wearing very luxurious clothes. As soon as they arrived, they immediately saluted Ing Qingyu and the other half-immortals. Although they are very polite and saluting, there is a trace of arrogance between their brows. After all, they are City Master Morong's grandchildren. They have all kind of resources and talented people to guide them. Their strength must be extraordinary. This is the Venerable Master. You should have heard of him. City Master Morong introduced Qin Yun to his grandchildren and said with smile. Chapter 9:31. Special Exchanging Pointers. Ing Qingyu said with smile, "You youngsters are truly vigorous. Fighting as soon as you meet, this is not very good." Ing Qingyu is also helping Qin Yun. He doesn't want Qin Yun to get into trouble. He is not worried that Qin Yun won't be able to defeat him. Rather, he is worried that Qin Yun will injure him and then have to face City Master Morong again. It will be very embarrassing. City Master Morong said with smile, "Brother Yu, your words are wrong. Youngsters need to exchange pointers frequently. Only then will they discover their own inadequacies and progress." That long-haired handsome man said to Qin Yun, "I am Morong Chanwu. I originally wanted to exchange pointers with Chu Yu Jun, but he is now imprisoned in Tian family. Now, I ask Great Master to give me some pointers." Qin Yun faintly smiled. "I won't fight you because you are not my opponent." There are several hundred people in this huge palace hall. They are all startled hearing Qin Yun's words. Because everyone here is very familiar with Morong Changwu, they are very aware of his strength. The yellow-clothed woman standing beside Morong Changwu said with disdainful expression, "Even though third brother Morong is mid-stage martial king, he has 3 martial spirits and cultivated 3 Dao cores. Even though I am peak martial king, I can't guarantee that I can defeat him." A silver-clothed man beside Morong Changwu said with sneer, "Third brother Morong cultivates 3 martial spirits, so his cultivation is very low. Don't look at him because he is mid-stage martial king. Ordinary peak martial kings are not his match. Even initial-stage martial emperors can't guarantee that they can defeat him. And you are only a martial king, yet you are so arrogant." The youngsters beside Morong Changwu are all City Master Morong's grandsons. They have very good relationship with Morong Changwu. They are very clear about Morong Changwu's strength, so they are very unhappy with Qin Yun's words. Qin Yun said again, "I am late-stage martial king." Morong Changwu said with smile, "It doesn't matter. I just want to exchange pointers with you. During the competition, we can't use talismans, talisman tools, and other things. We can't even wear equipment. How about it?" The yellow-clothed woman coldly groaned and said, "What great master? I think he is just a guy who relies on equipment." Morong Yue, you cannot be rude to the great master. Quickly apologize to the great master. City Master Morong's voice sank, and he sternly shouted. Although Morong Yue is very unwilling, she has no choice but to lower her head and said, "Venerable Master, I am sorry. I was too rude just now." Qin Yun laughed. "It doesn't matter. I don't want to fight, and I'm not that good at fighting. I'm more proficient in the aspect of inscription. When I fight, I like to use the equipment. I refine myself." If I were to use the equipment and practitioner weapons that I forged, even if a few of you work together, you would not be able to defeat me. If I use talisman tools, you will be defeated. Murong Changwu heard Qin Yun's words and said, "It seems like venerable masters don't often compete in martial arts, so they think they can use equipment during the competition. This is indeed my inconsideration." City Master Murong said with smile, "Inscription masters rely on excellent equipment. All of you bitterly practice all kinds of martial arts, all kinds of cultivation techniques, and all kinds of combat skills. They don't even have time to practice. They're all studying inscriptions. If inscription masters are not allowed to use equipment during martial arts competition, inscription masters will surely lose." Grandfather's right. Changwu was not considered enough. Murong Changwu promptly nodded and said, "Actually, our competition on the battle stage is nothing more than small skirmishes. The truly difficult battles should occur suddenly. If we suddenly encounter a powerful enemy, no matter what method we use, as long as we can survive, we will be the strongest." Yu said with smile, "That is why you are not allowing Brother Yun to use equipment. This is not fair." City Master Murong laughed loudly and said, "But I have to say, Great Master's strength is indeed much stronger than my few outstanding grandchildren. Because he can use his own equipment to defeat my grandchildren, this is very awesome. Moreover, he is only late-stage martial king. Apart from Murong Changwu, the others are all peak-stage martial kings. So young and already a peak-stage martial king. Moreover, he is City Master Murong's grandson. His strength is certainly not weak. However, people still don't believe that Qin Yun can use equipment to defeat these geniuses." Murong Changwu and Murong Yue's expressions are filled with unconvinced expression. "Grandfather, you're looking down on us too much. We have consumed a great amount of your resources. 5 of us are peak-stage martial kings. Third brother can even contend against martial emperors. Even if we join hands, we will not be able to defeat him." Murong Yue said in low voice, "How about this? We will allow him to use equipment. We will join hands and fight him." Not only Murong Yue is thinking this way, majority of the people present are also thinking this way. Yu said with smile, "You few youngsters, are you really not convinced?" City Master Murong said, "Brother Yu, don't talk about them. Even I, their grandfather, feel that Great Master's words are a bit exaggerated. I believe that he is worthy of the title of Great Master, but I feel that even if he uses his own equipment, he would not be able to defeat my grandchildren so easily." Qin Yun said modestly, "Great Master title is given by others. I have never given it to myself. You can call me a Yun or Brother Yun. I am truly not worthy of the title of Great Master." Yu patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with smile, "The title given by others is more proof of your ability. Old man Murong, how about this? Let Brother Yun use equipment and exchange pointers with your grandchildren." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "Let's forget about it. Because I will waste my Tao talismans. After all, this is not to save my life. I cannot waste Tao talismans and talisman tools that I painstakingly crafted." Yu chuckled and said, That's right. Brother Yun just said that if he wants to win, he can only rely on equipment. If he wins, he will have to use up 10 billion purple crystal coins worth of equipment. Then this kind of exchanging pointers will have no meaning." Everyone's expression changed one after another. Exchanging pointers and using up 10 billion purple crystal coins worth of equipment. They can indeed win. After all, equipment is a crushing victory. Murong Yue is also speechless because obtaining 10 billion purple crystal coins worth equipment is also a skill. Although they are City Master Murong's grandchildren and are the most outstanding ones, they do not have 10 billion purple crystal coins worth equipment in their hands. City Master Murong said with smile, "How about this? Ayun, my grandchildren are usually proud and arrogant. You should fight with them and teach them a lesson. If you win, I will give you 10 billion purple crystal coins. How about it? If you lose, you will have to bear the loss." Honestly speaking, they are all veterans of hundreds of battles, but they have never fought against someone with powerful equipment. This is also a good experience for them. Qin Yin thought about it and said, City Master Morong, I also don't want 10 billion purple crystal coins. So long as I defeat them, you help me buy Gong Changshua's beast horn. City Master Morong said with frown, Gong Changshua's beast horn is with me. I will auction it in his place. That beast horn is worth more than 10 billion purple crystal coins. Qin Yin cursed in his heart hearing this. That mysterious beast horn is actually in City Master Morong's hands. Then forget it. Qin Yin let out a sigh and shook his head. Morong Chanwu and others became very anxious hearing this. They very much want to fight Qin Yin. They want to prove to everyone here that they could defeat Qin Yin by joining hands. City Master Morong said, Let me think about it. Morong Yue curled her lips and said, Grandfather, if he uses King Tool, half a mortal tool, or even a mortal tool, we will surely lose. Qin Yin said with smile, If you really want to compete, you can also use any equipment you want. I did not say you are not allowed to use equipment. Then we will surely win. Morong Yue very confidently said with smile, We will also not use immortal tool. We will use King Tool. You will surely lose. Morong Changwu said, Grandfather, you should agree. If we also use weapons and wear equipment, he will surely not be our match. At that time, you won't need to help him buy the beast horn. City Master Morong said with smile, All right, if you lose, you will have to do hard labor for a period of time from now on. I will immediately notify people to clean up the battle stage. I will hold a banquet on the battle stage tonight. At that time, not only you will compete, I will also hold a martial art competition program to liven things up and let friend from afar come and learn from each other. Then it's settled. Morong Yue looked at Qin Yin and said with proud smile, Great Master, we will meet on the battle stage tonight. Morong Changwu and the others hastily left. They must be preparing king tools. Ing Qingyu also brought Qin Yin back. Brat, are you really confident? Ing Qingyu asked. Although City Master Morong seems to be very courteous, he is very concerned about his face. He will surely give equipment to his grandchildren. Even though you have equipment, you alone are not enough to defeat 5 of them. Hunchback General Manager very anxiously said, Brother Yun, if you lose, your loss will not be small and your reputation will also drop greatly. Qin Yin said with smile, It's fine, I will stake it all. If I win, that beast horn will be mine. Soon after, Qin Yun and Ing Qingyu went to find Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian. Through sound transmission conch, Qin Yun found out that Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian are heading towards the battle stage. Ing Qingyu and Qin Yun are also preparing to go to the battle stage. Ing Qingyu is very familiar with this place. He brought Qin Yun and flew on the sky. The battle stage is a very large plaza. There's a very spacious battle stage in the middle. It is surrounded by dozens of huge formation pillars. Kong Feiqing is holding Gong Fian's hand. They're surrounded by a group of people at the edge of the battle stage. The people surrounding the mother and daughter were the people from the Gong family. More than 100 Gong family people have come to attend the banquet. There are men and women, young and old. These people hate Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing very much. Some of them even provoked Gong Fian before. Chapter 9:32. Chapter 9:32. Small disturbance. Gong family people surrounded Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian and loudly criticized them. This attracted many people to watch. It must be known that there are many City Master Morong's people here, especially those patrolling guards. They are all martial kings. They heard this and immediately rushed over. Gong family people saw the guards arrive and immediately said that Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing don't have invitation cards. A green-clothed Gong family woman named Gong Min pointed at Gong Fian and said, She is not invited, but she can appear in the City Master's manor. They must have sneaked in. We came in with our friends. Can't we? Gong Fian is not afraid at all. We don't have invitation cards, but an expert brought us in. Kong Feiqing took out a sound transmission conch and sent sound transmission to Qin Yun, telling him to come quickly. What expert do you know? Could it be that you gave 3 regent origin stones to that great master, and he brought you in? A Gong family middle-aged martial king said with sneer. Maybe he can't even enter. Gong Min yelled, quickly capture them. Kong Feiqing immediately became furious and released her martial emperor aura. Gong family people's expression immediately became alarmed. Martial emperor, Kong Feiqing. How did you become martial emperor? A Gong family old man pointed at Kong Feiqing and said with shocked expression, this old man's cultivation is only initial stage martial emperor. He cannot accept that Kong Feiqing, a widow, is also a martial emperor. Those guards who wanted to capture Kong Feiqing also retreated one after another because a martial emperor is not someone they can deal with. Many of the spectators are from 100 Pagoda City. They are very clear about Gong family's matter. Kong Feiqing becoming martial emperor caused many people to be amazed. After all, Kong Feiqing is very young and she did not obtain many resources. It is very difficult for her to break through bottleneck. Kong Feiqing said with sneer, it was great master who helped me break through. He and brother you brought us in. You. How is this possible? You gave him 3 region origin stones, and he helped you so much? Gong Min loudly shouted. I understand, you mother and daughter must have sold your bodies to that great master to help you break through. You mother and daughter are truly shameless. A middle-aged woman from the Gong family said in a strange tone. You and your daughter are the shame of our Gong family. It seems that the great grandmaster isn't a good person either. Qin Yun and Ying Qingyu flew over and heard these words. Ying Qingyu looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, look, someone is speaking ill of you. Qin Yun's expression is somewhat ice-cold. He promptly landed and coldly looked at that Gong family middle-aged woman and said in cold voice, although I am not a venerable master, Kong Feiqing indeed became martial emperor with my help. Please don't talk nonsense. Ying Qingyu also landed beside Qin Yun and shouted, gossipy woman, don't slander me. If you dare to slander my brother Yu's friend again, believe it or not, I will destroy your Gong family. Quickly kneel down and apologize. Qin Yun and Ying Qingyu's sudden appearance caused the Gong family people to be dumbstruck. Their faces are filled with fear. Especially Ying Qingyu's words. It also made the Gong family's woman quickly kneel down and apologize. Even the other people of the Gong family also repeatedly bowed and apologized. Gong Min gritted her teeth. Her face is filled with resentment as she bowed and apologized to Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing. Gong Min, I'm Yin Yin's friend. I went to the Gong family with her before. You should still remember me. Qin Yin looked at Gong Min and said coldly, at that time, you even said that I was a shady person. I remember. I am sorry. Gong Min is even more jealous. She did not expect that Gong Fian would be able to hook up with a venerable master who is famous throughout 100 Pagoda City and Heaven's Pride City. If you dare to speak nonsense again, don't blame me for being impolite, Qin Yin said in cold voice. He is indeed very angry because these people are fabricating rumors out of nothing. This caused the Gong family people to shiver in fright. Qin Yun's eyes are filled with killing intent. He looked at the woman who spread rumors and said in cold voice, all of you better remember this. What's going on? Did our Gong family people cause trouble? Suddenly a one-eyed long-haired old man arrived. This old man is wearing white long gown. His head is filled with silver white long hair and beard. Grandfather, Gong Fian said in low voice. This old man is Gong Changjua, the family master of Gong family. After Gong Changjua arrived, he quickly found out what happened. He first apologized to Qin Yun, then reprimanded Gong Min's group and ordered them to immediately leave the city master manor. It is all my fault for cultivating in seclusion all day and neglecting teaching. I hope Venerable Master can forgive me. Gong Changjua has also heard of Venerable Master Qin Yun's great name. It is also because of Ying Qingyu's great fame. Anyone who knows Ying Qingyu would immediately know about Venerable Master Qin Yun's matter. City Master Murong also arrived. He chuckled and said, so lively. What happened? Murong Changwu, Murong Yue, Murong Changwu, and some other youngsters as well as more than a dozen middle-aged men are following behind City Master Moro. These dozen middle-aged men are very shocking. They're all peak martial emperors. They're all half immortals. Everyone knows that they're all City Master Morong's sons. One of the guards hurriedly reported the situation to City Lord Morong. After City Master Morong's family finished listening, they looked at the beautiful Kong, Fei Qing, and Gong Fian. Although it is just a rumor, everyone cannot help but let their imagination run wild. Murong Yue lightly groaned and said, "As expected of venerable master, his charm is limitless and his skill is also very high. He is only late-stage martial king, yet he can help peak martial kings become martial emperors. Even my grandfather doesn't have this kind of skill." Everyone heard Murong Yue's words and repeatedly nodded. They also think the same way. At this time, someone said in low voice, "Could it be that he is using some kind of evil dual cultivation technique?" Qin Yun abruptly looked at that middle-aged man and said in cold voice, "Your brain is very dirty. Do you want me to help you wash it?" That person laughed loudly and said, "You are a venerable master, right? But you are at most a late-stage martial king, yet you are so arrogant. Apart from repairing a few magic tools, what other skill do you have? Oh, that's right. You can even trick women to cultivate yin and yang dual cultivation with you." Murong Yue said with smile, "Venerable master, that person is Chu Yojuan's father. He is a late-stage martial emperor called Chu Dahong. Aren't your equipment very awesome? Quickly go beat him up. Relax, I will allow you to fight in our Murong manner." Chu Dahong laughed loudly and said, "Bullshit, venerable master. You are just a scoundrel. Quickly admit it. Did you cultivate some kind of evil dual cultivation technique with that mother and daughter?" Everyone is silent, because City Master Murong is also not saying anything. Clearly, he is allowing them to have a conflict. City Master Murong also wants to see Qin Yun's strength. "I will give you one chance. Apologize to me, and I will let you go." Qin Yun firmly clenched his fists and said in cold voice, "Pa, Chu Dahong's son is imprisoned in Tian family because of Qin Yun. He bitterly hates Qin Yun." "Bullshit, venerable master. I will not apologize to you. You're just a guy who relies on petty tricks to repair magic tools. What is there to respect? You definitely don't have any skill." Chu Dahong loudly laughed and said. Murong Yue fanned the flames from the side and yelled, "Venerable master, quickly use your equipment to deal with him." At this time, a very strong pressure suddenly appeared in the sky. Everyone abruptly looked at the sky and saw a black-clothed fat old man flying over. Who the fuck dares to insult Brother Yin? This person is precisely Old Fei Tian. Ing Qingyu saw Old Fei Tian arrive and yelled, "Old Fei Tian, it is that guy. His name is Chu Dahong. He is the father of that little bastard you imprisoned, Chu Yujun." Old Fei Tian suddenly dropped down from the sky and slapped Chu Dahong's head. Boom! A 2-meter wide hole appeared at the place where Chu Dahong was standing, and Chu Dahong also fell into that bottomless hole. Old Fei Tian appeared and directly injured Chu Dahong. He seems to be dead. City Master Morong said with faint smile, "Old Fei Tian, you killed Pagoda Master Chu's son. You are in trouble." Old Fei Tian laughed loudly and said, "I have just crossed 6th tribulation. Why would I be afraid of him? This is all thanks to Brother Yun's help. He saved my life. Otherwise, I would have died under the heavenly tribulation." Ing Qingyu's expression is filled with shock after hearing this. All the half-immortals present are emotionally moved and looked at Qin Yun. "Oh, Old Fei Tian, is this true?" Ing Qingyu doesn't dare to believe and said, "How did Brother Yun help you cross 6th tribulation?" Old Fei Tian's formidable immortal power has indeed reached 6th tribulation half-immortal level. And there are very few half-immortals here who are 5th tribulation. 6th tribulation is even less. Only Old Fei Tian and City Master Morong are here. Old Fei Tian very happily laughed and said, "Of course it is true. He helped me repair my Purple Star Heavenly Dipper shield, allowing me to cross 6th tribulation. Qin Yun can repair Purple Star Heavenly Dipper shield." All the half-immortals and inscription masters present looked at Qin Yun in disbelief. Old Fei Tian secretly looked for several famous inscription masters to repair Purple Star Heavenly Dipper Shield. Although this was kept secret, it secretly spread out, causing many people to know that Old Fatian's Purple Star Heavenly Dipper Shield is damaged. That is Old Fatian's best tool for crossing tribulation. Now Old Fatian has crossed 6 tribulation. It is very clear that Purple Star Heavenly Dipper Shield has been repaired. Someone who can repair Purple Star Heavenly Dipper Shield. If not a venerable master, then what is he? There are 2 old inscription masters here. They're also called venerable masters, but they are completely helpless against Old Fatian's Purple Star Heavenly Dipper Shield. City Master Murong glanced at Murong Yue, telling her to restrain herself a bit. Murong Yue is also scared. Someone who can repair immortal tools is indeed very capable. Ing Qingyu said with smile, Old man Murong, we agreed before that your 6 grandsons will fight Brother Yun. Both sides can use equipment. Don't go back on your words. City Master Murong chuckled and said, Rest assured, I will not go back on my words. Old Fatian is also very interested. He said with smile, Old man Murong, lend them your immortal tools, otherwise they will lose for sure. Murong Yue said, We will use king tools. Even if he uses immortal tools, can he resist the 6 of us? Chapter 9:33. 1 verses 6. Murong Changwu and the other youngsters are famous young geniuses of 100 Pagoda City. They are very arrogant. They all know that Qin Yun is very skillful in repairing magic tools. But they still feel that Qin Yun cannot defeat them. Everyone, please sit down, make yourselves at home. No need to be reserved. City Master Murong said with chuckle. Next, we will drink and eat. We will watch our youngsters exchange pointers. City Master Murong is also very impatient to know the result of the competition. In previous competitions, no tools were allowed to be used. But now, not only they can be used, a very talented young venerable master is fighting against City Master Murong's 6 most outstanding grandsons. This is not only a contest of strength, it is also a contest of equipment. City Master Murong is very wealthy. He must have many good equipment in his hands. And today is his birthday banquet. In order to win, he must have equipped his grandsons with the best magic tools and weapons. Moreover, Qin Yun's equipment was refined by him. The equipment City Master Murong gave to his grandsons were gifted by his powerful friends. That young venerable master is late-stage martial king. His strength is far below City Master's grandsons. And in terms of equipment, he is also far below them. Among the gifts that City Master Murong receives every year, there are many good Dao talismans and Dao tools. Don't even talk about the venerable master fighting 1 against 6. Even if he fought 1 against 1, it would be very difficult for him to win. As expected of City Master Murong, he can actually make a venerable master stumble. That venerable master is very skillful, but he is after all very young and loves to show off. So he fell into the pit. The reason why people think this way is because Murong Changwu and the others are wearing king tools. Even a formidable old half-immortal only has 2 to 3 king tools in his hands. It must be known that many half-immortals do not have half-immortal or immortal tools. Having a few king tools is already very good. And Murong Changwu and the others are wearing king tools. Their battle clothes and weapons are all king tools. Are we starting so soon? Old Fatian said. It is already dark. The banquet is about to begin. Let's fight now. It will be lively and lively. It will enliven the atmosphere. City Master Murong said with smile. Regardless of who wins or loses, tonight will be lively. Old man Murong, Ing Qingyu said with a laugh. If your grandchildren are injured, they will definitely die. Don't blame Brother Yun. City Master Murong laughed heartily and said, How is that possible? When I train them, I often injure them. Brother Yun, go up the stage. Be careful. Don't be so heavy-handed. Ing Qingyu said. Qin Yun smiled and then walked up to the spacious battle stage in middle. City Master Murong chuckled and said, Brother Yu, you are very confident in him. Ing Qingyu smiled and did not speak. He personally saw several formidable half-immortals being tricked to death by Qin Yun. After everyone took their seats, they looked at the stage. Today, there would be a long martial art competition to liven things up. It was said that there would be a battle between martial emperors. Therefore, everyone was looking forward to it. Qin Yun walked onto the stage and stood at the edge of the stage. He tried his best to distance himself from the 6 siblings. Murong Yue is very excited because, in her opinion, if she can defeat Qin Yun, this venerable master, she will feel a great sense of accomplishment. Qin Yun is a very famous person. Everyone wants to trample on famous people. Murong Changwu said with smile, "Venerable master, this is not us bullying you with numbers. This competition was proposed by Venerable Master yourself. I hope that after you lose, you won't go around saying that we are bullying you." Murong Yue lightly groaned and said in low voice, "This Venerable Master is very awesome. He can help Peak Martial King's breakthrough to Martial Emperor. He is surrounded by beautiful women like clouds. 100 Pagoda cities miss you. Qian Feng Sex Hong Meng Shu. Also Gong family's beautiful mother and daughter pair. Even if he loses, there will be beautiful women to comfort him." "Xiao Wei." Murong Changwu lightly shouted, "Don't be rude." Murong Yue glared at Qin Yun, curled her lips, and said, "He doesn't look like a venerable master at all, yet he uses his title to attract bees and butterflies. He even boasted that he can help Peak Martial King's breakthrough. He is a big swindler." Everyone can hear Murong Yue's words, but no one dares to say anything. Because old Feitian is here. Qin Yun is very young, yet old Feitian and brother you are calling him Venerable Master. This caused many people to feel very jealous. They have never seen Qin Yun's true ability with their own eyes, so they are very suspicious of Qin Yun's ability. Only a few formidable inscription masters know how awesome Qin Yun is. Because none of them can repair old Feitian's purple star heavenly dipper shield, but Qin Yun can. They are completely convinced of Qin Yun's ability. The ones who are not convinced of Qin Yun are those ignorant and arrogant youngsters. I already said, Venerable Master is what other people call me. I have never called myself that. Qin Yun speechlessly shook his head, took out a talisman, and said, "When can we start?" City Master Murong yelled, "Open the barrier. It will be ready soon." The barrier opened, a bell rang, and the competition began. "Go!" Murong Yue yelled. The slender red saber in her hand flickered with gorgeous red light. She is the first to attack. Her body is like a red lightning as she rapidly rushed toward Qin Yun. Qin Yun's figure flickered and dodged Murong Yue's red saber. However, Murong Changwu appeared behind Qin Yun in a flash and stabbed his sword towards Qin Yun's back. Qin Yun also suddenly disappeared, dodging the sword. The other 4 people also started attacking Qin Yun one after another. The most dreadful thing is that Qin Yun is dodging them one by one. His movement technique is very high and mysterious, causing many martial kings and martial emperors to cheer. City Master Murong cursed in low voice. This guy is clearly very strong. Not weaker than peak martial kings, but he says his martial skills are not good enough. Qin Yun is a late-stage martial king. Yet he is being besieged by 5 peak martial kings and a late-stage martial king with 3 martial spirits. Yet he is still dodging like a fish in water. Murong Changwu is the strongest among these youngsters. He is confident that he can defeat ordinary early-stage martial emperors. But now, he has attacked Qin Yun many times, and yet he cannot even touch Qin Yun's clothes. This caused him to be very horrified in his heart. If he fought Qin Yun one-on-one, he would lose without a doubt. Murong Yue is even more apprehensive. She looked down on Qin Yun before, but now she discovered that she, a peak martial king, is nothing but trash in front of Qin Yun. Qin Yun is holding a Dao talisman in his hand. He is constantly dodging and not attacking. Many people are urging Qin Yun to attack. Murong Yue and others on the battle stage also want Qin Yun to attack quickly, because the talisman in Qin Yun's hand is causing them to be very worried. They have been defending the talisman all along, causing them to be distracted and unable to attack Qin Yun with all their strength. Qin Yun saw that Murong Changwu and others are not attacking with all their strength. Moreover, they are somewhat panicking. He realized that they are scared by his talisman. Before the battle started, Murong Changwu and others thought that Qin Yun would be just SOSO. But now they discovered that Qin Yun is very strong. Moreover, he has not even used his formidable Dao talismans and talisman tools. This caused them to have no choice but to reserve a portion of their power to defend against Dao talismans and talisman tools. Old Fei Tian chuckled and said, "Old man Murong, your grandchildren are still too tender." The smile on City Master Murong's face disappeared. He cursed in low voice. "This brother Yun is truly treacherous. My grandchildren are too young. They don't know how to play psychological warfare. Not to mention Murong Changwu and others on the battle stage. Even City Master Murong and some Murong family elders are secretly worried that Qin Yun will suddenly attack with the talisman in his hand. Qin Yun has been dodging all along. He has not attacked because he wants to clearly understand these people's foundation. He really doesn't want to waste too many Dao talismans and talisman tools. Even though he can craft them, he needs to spend a lot of time and materials. Using Passing Shadow Extinction Breath Step and Flowing Light Extinction Shadow Step, Qin Yun can easily dodge the 6 people's encirclement. Murong Yue cursed in low voice. This battle stage is too big, otherwise he wouldn't have any place to run. Qin Yun suddenly laughed from the distance. The talisman in his hand suddenly disappeared. The talisman in his hand suddenly disappeared. Everyone earnestly looked at it. The talisman landed in the middle of the 6 people and burst out a transparent energy wave. Everyone immediately let out a burst of hissing sound. Because the talisman seems to have lost its effect, it did not produce any intense explosion. Is it fake? A talisman to scare people? Murong Yue delicately cursed. "This bastard, he scared me to death." Just as she finished speaking, she discovered that there was a strange energy lingering around her face. "Third brother, you. How did you suddenly become so fat? You. How did you become so fat?" Murong Yue yelled. Everyone immediately burst in a cry of alarm. Because Murong Changwu and his brother's faces suddenly became very big, they became as fat as pig heads. These people are all young and beautiful. They care a lot about their appearance. Now that their faces have suddenly become as big as pig heads, it is equivalent to them suffering 10,000 points of damage. "Bastard, what did you do to us?" Murong Yue furiously shouted. The slender red saber in her hand burst out with flame aura, releasing her fury. "Be a bit more serious during the battle." Qin Yun suddenly appeared behind Murong Yue, gathered his 2 fingers together, and jabbed forward. Boom! Murong Yue was hit by Qin Yun's piercing mountain-splitting earth finger. Her body was sent flying and crashed into the barrier. She is wearing King Tool battle clothes. She was only sent flying, otherwise her body would have been pierced through and a large bloody hole would have appeared on her body. Because their faces suddenly turned into pig heads, they are very anxious and angry. They are greatly affected. They immediately fell into chaos and started attacking Qin Yun randomly. Qin Yun took out a shield. It is the half-immortal tool he won from Long Chuanwu. Qin Yun and Jian Linglong joined hands and added some runes to this shield. It has a burst of very strong suction power. Not only it can suck in weapons, it can also absorb energy from other people's body through weapons. Murong Changwu's sword stabbed into the shield. Half of it went inside, but it did not pierce through the shield. Clearly, there is a strange space inside. "My sword!" Murong Changwu yelled in alarm because he is unable to pull it out. Moreover, the power within his body is unceasingly flowing out through the sword. At the same time, other 4 people also attacked, but their weapons are immediately sucked in by the shield. Qin Yun faintly smiled and released a very strong vibration power through the half-immortal shield. It also contains suffering divine ability power. Those people screamed in pain. They felt incomparable pain in their arms and had no choice but to let go of their weapons. Chapter 9:34. Pighead Dao Talisman City. Master Murong's face was filled with smile at first, but now his face has turned black. Because compared to Qin Yun, his grandchildren are simply too weak. They're simply not on the same level. Everyone with discerning eyes can see that Qin Yun is very experienced in battle. His movement technique is superb, and his power is also not weak. This is simply not the battle level an inscription master should have. Those king tools are now stuck on Qin Yun's half-immortal shield. Qin Yun said with smile, "Do you concede?" What is funny is that those brothers and sisters have turned into pig heads. It is very funny. Murong Yue suddenly jumped up, holding her saber, rushed towards Qin Yun's back, and hacked down with her saber. Qin Yun immediately sensed it and raised the half-immortal shield in his hand. Murong Yue's saber was also sucked in by an attractive force and stuck on the shield. Qin Yun's arm shook and released vibration power, shaking Murong Yue away. At this time, the aura of those brothers who lost their weapons suddenly burst out. They shot out Xian Dao power from the distance, bringing along a very strong king's aura. All kinds of palm and fist images densely packed together enveloped Qin Yun and transformed into a wave. Qin Yun placed the half-immortal shield in front of his body, let out a muffled groan, and unleashed Earthquake Divine Ability power. Boom! Qin Yun's Earthquake Divine Ability power vibrated through his arm and let out a thunder-like vibration sound. Incorporeal vibration rippled out and jolted back the Xian Dao power. The Xian Dao power scattered all over the battle stage and transformed into tyrannical air flow, letting out a gale-like angry roar. "Quickly concede. I don't want to injure you," Qin Yun said in cold voice. "You are the one who should concede." A man shouted in a very unconvinced manner. He attacked Qin Yun again. He used a very strong martial arts cultivation technique and shot out a violent thunder. Other people also attacked. Murong Yue is on the side, looking for an opportunity to attack. A youth said, "He won't dare to attack us seriously. He is afraid of our grandfather. We don't need to worry. Just attack him from all sides." Qin Yun is indeed holding back. Everyone can see this. After all, this is the Murong Manor. City Master Murong is watching from below. If Qin Yun injured City Lord Murong's grandson, he would not be able to explain himself. Therefore, he did not dare to use his full strength. Murong Changwu and the others also saw this point, which was why they dared to attack. Since that's the case, then I won't hold back. Qin Yun's voice became a bit colder. He has nothing to be afraid of. If something happens, there is old Feitian to stop them. The youth who was the first to charge at Qin Yun had a sinister look on his face. His arm was like a giant axe as he chopped at Qin Yun's head. As for the two youths, they flashed behind Qin Yun and quickly attacked him from behind. Murong Changwu jumped into the sky, wanting to attack from the sky. Murong Yue is holding a talisman flickering with golden light. She is waiting for an opportunity. When Qin Yun saw that they were going to be ruthless, he felt somewhat angry and hurriedly used his suffering divine ability. The invisible power released by the pain god art caused the five youths to feel intense pain all over their bodies. The sudden pain caused the power they gathered to scatter. Qin Yun disdainfully groaned, waved the half-immortal shield in his hand, and smashed towards their pig heads. Bang, bang, bang. Qin Yun raised the shield and bluntly used vibration power. Murong Changwu and the others have been heavily hit on the head by the shield. Their heads immediately broke and blood flowed. They let out miserable screams again and again. The 10 to 20,000 people in the plaza let out a burst of cry of alarm looking at this scene. City Master Murong and those Murong family elders have very unsightly expression. Those few juniors that they are so proud of have been hung up and beaten on the battle stage. What caused them to feel the most humiliating is that they have been bullied with numbers, and the other side has the upper hand. "Bastard, I will kill you." Murong Yue threw the golden talisman in her hand from the distance and furiously shouted in delicate voice. It must be said that the talisman in Murong Yue's hand is very formidable. After it was shot out, it turned into golden lightning and locked onto Qin Yun. Just a Dao talisman. Qin Yun feels very disdain in his heart and directly used the half-immortal shield to block. Boom, boom. The lightning bombarded on the half-immortal shield, flickered a few times, and exploded with muffled thunder. Although Qin Yun blocked the Dao talisman's lightning attack with his half-immortal shield, he was forced to retreat several steps. "You bastard, you are acting lazy." That shield in your hand is an immortal tool. Morong Yue shouted. Qin Yun used passing shadow extinction breath step. His body and aura suddenly disappeared without a trace. Morong Yue cannot see Qin Yun, but she knows that he is about to attack her. Sure enough, Qin Yun suddenly appeared beside Morong Yue. After he appeared, he brandished the shield in his hand and attacked Morong Yue's pig head face. Boom! Morong Yue was sent flying and landed beside her brothers. She loudly cried and screamed. They lost. City Master Morong helplessly sighed and yelled. After the barrier opened, a few middle-aged men walked over and checked Morong Yue's and others' injuries. They're not too serious. They will recover after a few days of rest. What kind of talisman did you use? Can it help them recover? City Master Morong asked. I used Pig Head Dao Talisman. It can produce a kind of strange power that can make people's head as fat as a pig's head. Qin Yun laughed, walked over, and lightly waved his hand. After the power dissipated, Morong Yue and others also recovered. That Pig Head Dao Talisman opened everyone's eyes. There is actually such a strange talisman that can turn people in a pig's head. Lan Fengjin and Lu Jingming felt that this talisman was very amusing and then joined hands to make a few. This is also recorded in the Dao King Talisman Canon. Old Man Morong, you must remember what you promised. Yingxingyu walked over and said with smile and low voice, I will absolutely not go back on my words. City Master Morong looked at Qin Yun and said with some dissatisfaction, Brother Yun, you are not weak at all. Why are you acting like you are weak? Qin Yun laughed. That is because I thought they were very strong, so I felt that I would not be able to defeat them. After Morong Yue heard this, she immediately burst into tears. Grandfather, quickly teach him a lesson. This guy pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger. He pretended to be weak, but he ruthlessly tricked us. Qin Yun feels that this is somewhat funny and explained, but I am clearly a late-stage martial king. Among you 6, 5 are peak-stage martial kings. One is a mid-stage martial king who has cultivated 3 Dao core. His strength is comparable to a peak-stage martial king. It was not easy for me to win against 6 peak-stage martial kings. You used a mortal tool. This is not fair. Morong Yue yelled while crying. Mine is only a half-immortal tool. Qin Yun took out the half-immortal shield and returned it to them. City Master Morong somewhat angrily said, You lost. You lost. Your skill is indeed inferior. You can't blame anyone. 6 peak-stage martial kings fought against a late-stage martial king and still lost. Who can you blame? After hearing her grandfather's words, Morong Yue no longer dared to cry. Grandfather, what's going on? Who made Xiao Wei cry? A magnetic man's voice suddenly floated over from the distance. Big brother is here. Morong Yue just stopped crying, but hearing that voice, her eyes became moist again. Suddenly a white light flashed behind Morong Yue, and a tall and sturdy white-clothed youth appeared. This white-clothed youth has some beard on his face. He has a pair of sword-like eyebrows. His eyes are as bright as stars. His handsome face has a faint smile hanging on it, making him look even more charming and steady. Big brother, I am being bullied. Grandfather, why are you not helping me? Morong Yue promptly hid behind the youth and said while sobbing. Yingxingyu said to Qin Yun in low voice, This brat is called Morong Tianjia. He is a young martial emperor. His strength is very strong. He is Old Man Morong's eldest grandson. He is cultivating in 100 Pagoda sects Divine Sword Pagoda. At this time, many young ladies of aristocratic families let out a burst of screams. Morong Tianjia, I love you. Prince Charming Tianjia is so handsome. He is even more handsome than that venerable master. Prince Charming Tianjia, quickly teach that venerable master a lesson. He is too arrogant. My family's husband is one of the strongest martial emperors of Divine Sword Pagoda. Teaching a martial king a lesson is like beating a child. A group of love-struck idiots below began shouting and shouting. Qin Yun is very unhappy. He is not being arrogant at all. Morong Tianjia looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, Brother Yun, right? I hope you don't mind. Morong Yue groaned and said, Big brother, quickly teach him a lesson. This bastard turned me into a pig head. Moreover, he ruthlessly beat me up. Murong Tianjia is a very reasonable person. After knowing what happened, he pinched Murong Yue's face and said, Xiao Wei, if you want to teach him a lesson, properly cultivate and do it yourself. Big brother, you don't love me anymore. Murong Yue started crying again. City Master Murong said with smile, Xiao Wei, you little girl, you've been crying for a long time after being beaten up. Look at Brother Yun, he is so happy. He wants to beat up a pampered girl like you until you cry. Qin Yun cursed this old man in his heart. He is actually helping him attract hatred. He is not happy at all. Murong Yue hastily stopped crying, glared at Qin Yun, and loudly cursed. You bastard who loves to bully girls. You are a flower thief. Qin Yun has a helpless expression. He has already obtained the beast horn anyways. If he is cursed, then so be it. What made him feel relieved is that City Master Murong's mentality is also very good. He did not make things difficult for Qin Yun. Big brother, why did you only arrive now? Murong Changwu asked. I fought with a friend, so I arrived a bit late. Murong Tianjia said with smile. Big brother, did you fight with Xia Wufeng? Did you win? Murong Yue hastily asked. I didn't lose, I didn't win. Murong Tianjia said with bitter smile. It was hard to decide who won and who lost. Qin Yun is greatly alarmed in his heart. This Murong Tianjia is actually Xia Wufeng's friend. This also made him realize how strong Xia Wufeng is. He can actually fight a martial emperor to a draw. Murong Yue said in low voice, Big brother, Xia Wufeng is truly awesome. He only used one hand, and he is not even a martial emperor, yet he can fight you to a draw. If he becomes a martial emperor, wouldn't it mean that you won't be able to defeat him? He is a sword cultivator. Moreover, he has comprehended a very strong sword Dao technique. He is a genius. Murong Tianjia said. Qin Yun feels that he will be able to see Xia Wufeng very soon. Qin Yun followed Ing Chengyu and Old Feiqian down the battle stage. Chapter 935. Yaoshue 10 high-quality Regent Origin Stones is a very generous reward for martial emperors. Murong Tianjia said with smile, Grandfather, you are truly confident in me. City Master Murong said in low voice, Today you must give me some face. Just now those guys lost. If you lose again, no matter how thick my face is, I won't be able to hold on. It's all that womanizer's fault. Murong Yue glared at Qin Yun, who is sitting below the battle stage. Qin Yun is sitting beside Kong Feiqing and Gong Fian. Although many people are looking at Kong Feiqing with strange gazes, she is very proud of herself because she managed to climb up to this awesome, great Master Qin Yun. She is very clear about Qin Yun's ability. The heavenly rune evolved with Qin Yun's help, allowing her to suddenly break through to martial emperor. Even if she is being misunderstood, she doesn't feel anything. However, Gong Fian feels somewhat uncomfortable. Kong Feiqing said in low voice, Xiao Yun, do you think I can defeat Murong Tianjia if I go up? Qin Yun shook his head and said, I don't know, why don't you go up and give it a try? Kong Feiqing said with smile, If you want me to go, I will go. Then forget it, don't get injured. You just became martial emperor. Qin Yun said with laugh. Ing Qingyu said, Brother Yun, why don't you go up and defeat Murong Tianjia? If you go all out, it shouldn't be a problem, right? It's hard to say. Qin Yun shook his head and said, Actually, he also wants to go up. He wants to see the disparity between him and Xia Wufeng. This way he can understand Xia Wufeng's strength. However, if he were to go up and accidentally win, City Lord Murong would definitely lose face. Not long after, someone came up to fight. It is an elder from a sect, mid-stage martial emperor. After someone came up, City Master Murong walked down from the battle stage while chuckling. The barrier opened and Murong Tianjia and the elder began fighting. This competition can't use weapons. They can only compete in martial arts and cultivation techniques. Therefore, the spectators below are very satisfied watching and cheered again and again. In just a short while, Murong Tianjia won. It is the elder who conceded because the disparity is very clear. Murong Tianjia is just an initial stage martial emperor, yet he can defeat a mid-stage martial emperor elder. This caused many people to exclaim in admiration even more. The screams of the women below became even more ear-piercing. Kong Feiqing also exclaimed in admiration and said, as expected of City Master Murong's eldest grandson, truly a genius. He can even defeat a mid-stage martial emperor. Qin Yun said with smile, luckily you and I did not go up. Kong Feiqing said with smile, Xiao Yun, you are more handsome than him and also more awesome than him. Right, Yin Yin? Gong Fian promptly nodded her head. I feel that you are better looking and more capable than him. Old Fei Tian said with smile, of course, Brother Yun's ability to repair magic tools is at the level of Venerable Master. This is absolutely not an exaggeration. If we can use magic tools, even 2 Murong Tianjia would not be a match for Brother Yun. Old Fei Tian saw Qin Yun hide inside a cauldron and block tribulation thunder that could kill a large group of half-immortals. So he said this. City Master Murong and others are sitting 4 to 5 tables in front of Qin Yun's group. Murong Yue suddenly looked over and glared at Qin Yun, apparently telling him that her big brother is very strong. Kong Feiqing saw the little girl glaring at Qin Yun and helped Qin Yun stare back. Qin Yun doesn't care at all. He lowered his head and continued eating. At this time, another person went up to challenge Murong Tianjia, is an initial stage martial emperor middle-aged man. Everyone is earnestly watching. Although Qin Yun is also watching, he is eating and watching at the same time. Even though Murong Yue has been beaten a few times, she is still very spirited and loudly cheering for her big brother. Very soon Murong Tianjia defeated that middle-aged man and won a burst of cheers. City Master Murong stood up and yelled, defeat Murong Tianjia and you will get 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones. Murong Tianjia shook his head and smiled. Grandfather, do you want to see me get defeated? You brat, it seems like you are rarely defeated. On the path of growth, you should encounter some setbacks. City Master Murong said with smile, using 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones to let you be defeated and temper yourself. I feel that it is very worth it. After Ing Qingyu heard this, he said with low laugh, Old Man Murong is just pretending. If Murong Tianjia loses, his expression will be as unsightly as his shoes. Old Fei Tian said with mischievous laugh, I really want to see his eldest grandson lose. Then we can see Old Man Murong's brilliant expression. Is City Master Murong your good friend? Qin Yun asked. Of course he is our good friend. That is why we want to see his defeated appearance. Ing Qingyu said with very happy smile. Right. Old Man Murong always brags about how awesome his son and grandson are in front of us. I have been very unhappy for a long time. Old Fei Tian said with smile. Qin Yun is eating with smile. This is truly a bad friend. After 10 battles, no one has been able to defeat Murong Tianjia. Majority of the people on the stage are mid-stage martial emperors. Some of the battles were very brilliant. Even Qin Yun feels that Murong Tianjia is a genius. City Master Murong is very happy. He gave Murong Tianjia a few pills to recover his energy. Now is the rest period. City Master Murong took this opportunity to hold an auction. The battle stage has also become an auction stage. The things being auctioned are entrusted by some 100 pagoda city families to City Master Murong to auction. There are many good things, so the competition for the auction is very intense. These things are not very useful to Qin Yun, so he did not participate. Finally, it is time for the beast horn to appear. The beast horn is white, more than 10 meters long, and weighs more than 10,000 jin. It is very large. It was taken out by Gong Changjua. He is not auctioning it with purple crystal coins, but with low-quality Regent Origin Stones. According to the introduction, the beast horn can resist immortal tool attack. It is an immortal tier tool, refining material. This caused a great sensation. Many people started bidding one after another. Although City Master Murong is helping with the auction, he wants to buy it for Qin Yun, so he can only send people to participate in the bidding. The beast horn is indeed very precious. Very soon it reached 100 Regent Origin Stones. According to the price of a low-quality Regent Origin Stone is 1 billion purple crystal coins. 100 region origin stones are worth more than 100 billion purple crystal coins. However, the bidding is still very intense. Very soon, the price reached 150 low-quality region origin stones. Qinyan now knows that it will be very difficult for him to obtain the beast horn with his financial resources. Who are these people? They can actually take out so many low-quality region origin stones. Qinyan said in amazement. They can't immediately take out so many region origin stones. They owe us. Because they are very powerful factions. They have enough purple crystal coins. They can slowly accumulate region origin stones. Old Feitian said. Finally, the beast horn was bought by someone with 170 low-quality region origin stones. That person is also City Master Morong's subordinate. Because Gong Changjua entrusted City Master Morong to auction it, City Master Morong will take a portion of the processing fee. Qinyan doesn't need to give so many region origin stones to Gong Changjua. Now, Qinyan feels a lot more relieved. Old Man Morong really suffered a great loss. Ingqingyu said with smile. Indeed, Old Feitian also laughed in his heart. Qinyan cannot help but admire City Master Morong's credibility and financial resources. He actually managed to obtain the beast horn. After City Master Morong obtained the beast horn, he let Morong Tianjia continue to accept challenges. Why is he still so happy? Qinyan asked in low voice. You don't know. Old Man Morong is very rich. I heard that when he was Pagoda Master, he made a lot of money. Moreover, over the years, he received many gifts and obtained many region origin stones. Old Feitian said. So that's how it is. Qinyan exclaimed in admiration. City Master Morong took out 20 mid-quality region origin stones and placed them below the battle stage so that everyone can see them. If you want to obtain these 20 mid-quality region origin stones, quickly come and challenge Morong Tianjia, City Master Morong loudly shouted. Many pagoda masters brought their outstanding disciples, but none of them dared to go up the stage. Because everyone knows that it is very difficult for initial and mid-stage martial emperors to defeat Morong Tianjia. Morong Tianjia's strength is stronger than many people of his father's generation. This caused City Master Morong to feel very proud. I will come. A clear and cold voice floated down from the sky above the battle stage. An elegant and beautiful woman wearing simple and unadorned white clothes slowly landed on the battle stage like a fairy descending to earth. As soon as this woman appeared, the entire battle stage became quiet. 100 Pagoda sect people's faces are filled with shock. This beautiful woman's entire body is lingering with faint mist. Her extremely beautiful oval face is filled with a faint smile. Who is she? Qinyan looked at Kong Feiqing and asked. Kong Feiqing's expression is filled with amazement and envy. She looked at the white-clothed woman and said, She is the chief disciple of 100 Pagoda sect's first pagoda. Her name is Yi Yaoxue, also known as Devil Woman Yi. Because nobody knows what martial spirit she has, nobody knows what kind of cultivation technique she uses, they only know that she is mid-stage martial emperor and her strength is very formidable. Morong Tianjia looked at City Master Morong below the battle stage and said with bitter smile, Grandfather, I might lose. City Master Morong has naturally heard of 100 Pagoda sect's Devil Woman Yi. He calmly smiled and said, How would you know if you don't fight? Even if you lose, I want to see how you lose. Yi Yaoxue pursed her lips and smiled. City Master Morong, if I win, I only need 10 region origin stones. City Master Morong is somewhat puzzled as he asked, Why 10? I feel that defeating Morong Tianjia is only worthy of 10 region origin stones, because it is a very easy matter. Yi Yaoxue said with gentle smile. Everyone burst into commotion. These are very arrogant words. She actually said that Morong Tianjia is only worth 10 region origin stones in front of everyone. Although he is being ridiculed by a woman, no one dares to say anything, because everyone knows that Yi Yaoxue is very strong and very mysterious. However, no one expected that she who rarely comes out would suddenly appear here. City Master Morong said with smile, Little girl, if you defeat my grandson, you can take away 20. Don't be polite with me. Since City Master Murong is so generous, this little girl will also not be polite. Yi Yaoshue faintly smiled, then looked at Murong Tianjia and said in soft voice, Xiao Wufeng has already been defeated by me. Hearing these words, Murong Tianjia's entire body trembled. 100 Pagoda sect's disciples and elders also burst in a cry of alarm. Xiao Wufeng has finally been defeated. Because in 100 Pagoda sect, Xiao Wufeng frequently challenges geniuses of various pagoda. He has never been defeated. At most, he can only fight to a draw. But now he has been defeated by Yi Yaoshue. But thinking about it carefully, they feel that Xiao Wufeng's defeat is not a big deal. After all, Xiao Wufeng is only peak martial king, and Yi Yaoshue is 2 levels higher than him. Chapter 936. Chapter 936. Marriage contest. Murong Tianjia received a double blow after learning that Xiao Wufeng was defeated by Yi Yaoshue. How many moves did you use to defeat him? Murong Tianjia asked. I don't remember. In short, he is very difficult to deal with. I heard your strength is more or less the same as his. It seems like you will surely lose to him. Yi Yaoshue looked at the 20 region origin stones and said with light smile, I want those region origin stones. I need them urgently. Murong Tianjia laughed. You will have to defeat me first. Yi Yaoshue is very confident. She sweetly smiled and said, defeating you is as easy as turning my hand. After the barrier opened, the bell rang and the martial arts contest began. Everyone is very seriously watching this contest. They are not taking their eyes off the stage. Yi Yaoshue is one of the 10 great martial emperors of 100 Pagoda sect. Although she is ranked 10th, she fought her way up with mid-stage martial emperor cultivation. It must be known that the people ranked 1st and 9th are all peak martial emperors. Only Yi Yaoshue is mid-stage martial emperor. If she breaks through to late-stage martial emperor, she might be able to fight her way up to 1st place. Murong Tianjia also had a ranking. He was in the 30s. This is also very amazing. Only Qin Yun is eating and watching the contest on the stage. He doesn't find anything interesting to watch because Yi Yaoshue is not using any martial skill. She is also not releasing the aura of her martial spirit. The energy she is releasing is very pure. It is impossible to tell what attribute it is. Many older generation present are also very doubtful. Many half-immortals are experienced and knowledgeable, but they don't know what attribute Yi Yaoshue is using. Old Fei Tian said with smile, Old Man Murong is going to capsize. 20 high-quality region origin stones are going to be given away just like that. Ing Qingyu also said with smile, most importantly, his grandson, who he is so proud of, is going to lose. Old Fei Tian and Ing Qingyu are very happy to see City Master Murong capsize. They are indeed good friends. Kong Feiqing said in low voice, Xiao Yun, that Yi Yaoshue is very awesome. Can you figure out anything? Qin Yun shook his head and said, I can't. Her speed is very fast. Even though she is not using any martial arts or cultivation technique, her fist and palm attacks are very skillful. I'm guessing that she's familiar with many superior martial arts techniques, and then she's mastered those martial arts techniques. When she was fighting, she also used it casually. This kind of realm is very high. Old Fei Tian nodded and said, Indeed so. She must have become familiar with many kinds of martial skills and then forgot them. However, her subconscious mind is very familiar with them. During battle, she can very naturally use the most wonderful moves. Ing Qingyu said with smile, that brat Murong Tianjia lost to this little girl. It is not unjust. City Master Murong is frowning while looking at the battle stage. On one hand, he is admiring Yi Yaoshue's strength. On the other hand, he wants to find her weak point so that his grandson can break it in the future. This Yi Yaoshue is a very good woman. If she can marry Tianjia, it would be very good. City Master Murong said with chuckle. He deliberately spoke very loudly so that everyone can hear him. Old Fei Tian cursed in low voice. Old Man Murong is deliberately disturbing her heart. On the battle stage, Yi Yaoshua's expression is very relaxed as she attacked Murong Tianjia. Her attacks look very light as a feather, giving people a very gentle feeling. Her moves look very natural and graceful. It is as if she is dancing with the wind. And Murong Tianjia can only block and dodge. His expression is very grave. From the beginning, Murong Tianjia has not attacked at all. He has been defending all along. Yi Yaoshua said with light smile, "Want to marry me? No problem. As long as his cultivation is not higher than mine and he can defeat me, I will marry him." Many people immediately jeered, telling Murong Tianjia to quickly defeat Yi Yaoshua and marry her. City Master Murong yelled, "Little girl, don't go back on your words." Yi Yaoshua replied with smile, "I, Yi Yaoshua, always keep my word. No matter who my opponent is, as long as his cultivation is not higher than mine and he can defeat me in a fair fight, I will marry him." Murong Yue lightly groaned and said, "That is simply impossible. She is a late-stage martial emperor. It is not easy to defeat her." Everyone can see that Yi Yaoshua is unparalleled within the same realm. Murong Tianjia is still bitterly holding on, while Yi Yaoshua is happily chatting with City Master Murong. Suddenly, Yi Yaoshua's jade-like palm shot out and overflowed with a thread of red light. She has finally used attribute power, but nobody knows what kind of attribute it is. Red martial spirit? Qin Yun's pupils shrunk as he stared at the red light overflowing from Yi Yaoshua's palm. His eyesight is very good. He can see that there are many fine threads under the red light. Many of the older generation could see those threads, but they only thought that they were energy similar to electric threads. But Qin Yun can recognize that they are kind of rune. Yi Yaoshua's attribute power contains runes. Although Qin Yun can also do it, the runes are very clear. They are not like Yi Yaoshua's, which look like electric threads. After Yi Yaoshua used this kind of red power, Murong Tianjia can no longer resist. Boom! Murong Tianjia's energy barrier was destroyed by Yi Yaoshua's gentle jade-like palm. Then he was knocked back by a burst of power and crashed into the barrier. Yi Yaoshua lightly flew over, just as she was about to attack. She heard City Master Murong yell, "He concedes." City Master Murong's expression became somewhat grave as he said, "Young miss, you have won." Murong Tianjia said in low voice, "Grandpa, I can still fight. If you keep fighting, you will be bettered for more than half a year. More than half a year, you will fall behind other people by a lot." City Master Murong said, "Tianjia, you are an initial stage martial emperor. Losing to a mid-stage martial emperor is not a shameful matter." Yi Yaoshua waved her sleeve and took away the 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones. Her face is filled with charming smile as she said in soft voice, "Many thanks, City Master." Murong Tianjia somewhat unwillingly walked down from the battle stage. Murong Yue promptly walked over, supported Murong Tianjia up, and said, "Big brother, you should cultivate for a few more years, then defeat her and take her as your concubine." Murong Tianjia laughed. "Xiao Wei, you should also work hard and defeat that venerable master, that bastard rapist. I will beat him into a pig's head." Murong Yue immediately looked at Qin Yun, glaring at him while grimacing in pain. Yi Yaoshua also looked at Qin Yun and said with light smile, "That venerable master's strength is pretty good. It is a pity that he is only late-stage martial king." Murong Yue said, "That guy is very treacherous. If he was allowed to bring equipment, you would not be his match." Yi Yaoshua said with smile, "That is impossible. I fought against a martial king using immortal tools, and I won in the end. Don't tell me he can use immortal tools to fight against me." Hearing her words, everyone looked at Qin Yun. They really want to see how this venerable master will fight against Yi Yaoshua with equipment. "He has many talismans," Murong Yue said again. "As long as it is not immortal talismans, I am not afraid." Yi Yaoshua looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, "Venerable master, do you dare to come up and exchange pointers with me?" Kong Feiqing asked, "If he defeats you, can he marry you?" Yi Yaoshua immediately laughed delicately. Her laughter is like silver bells. Of course he can. Let's see whether or not he has that kind of skill. Naturally, if he wants to fight me, he will have to bring a bargaining chip. If he loses, he will have to give me something good. City Master Murong also instigated Qin Yun and yelled, "Brother Yun, quickly go up." Murong Yue also yelled, "Venerable Master, aren't you very dissolute? There's a great beauty waiting for you in front of you. Quickly go up and defeat her." Qin Yun is still eating, he said with smile. "I am not interested in her. Whoever wants to marry her can go up and fight." This caused a burst of astonished cries. "Hypocrite!" Murong Yue cursed in low voice. "He is clearly scared. Indeed, he is such a womanizer. How can he not like Yi Yaoshua? Venerable Master, don't be modest. Go up and fight. Let's have a good time. If you lose, no one will laugh at you. If you win, you will be able to hug the beauty. If you are a man, quickly go up and fight." Qin Yun said in a very bad mood. "If I lose, I will lose a lot of good things. And if I win, I will only get a woman. What good is there in that?" City Master Murong said with smile, "She is not an ordinary woman." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "I have seen many women who are not ordinary." Murong Yue lightly groaned and said, "It seems like you only like mother and daughter flowers." Everyone immediately burst into laughter. Yi Yaoshua also chuckled lightly. Qin Yun took out a pig head Dao talisman and yelled at Murong Yue, "Wretched girl, if you dare speak nonsense again, believe it or not, I will turn you into a pig head." Murong Yue promptly hid behind City Master Murong and said, "Grandpa, quickly protect me. Forget it, don't force others." Yi Yaoshua looked at everyone and said, "Today is City Master Murong's birthday banquet. We need to continue the competition to liven things up. Since I won 20 Regent Origin Stones from City Master Murong, I will be the one to guard the battle stage. Late stage martial emperors can challenge me. If they lose, they must give me a high-quality Regent Origin Stone. If they win, they will get 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones. How about it? Of course, if their cultivation does not surpass mine, so long as they defeat me, they can marry me. There are many late-stage martial emperors here. They are all very outstanding. Many of them are City Master Murong's sons." Sure enough, a middle-aged late-stage martial emperor jumped up, took out a high-quality Regent Origin Stone, and placed it below the battle stage. "Miss Yi, please enlighten me." The barrier opened, the battle began. Yi Yaoshua's lily-white hand flickered with red light. She sent out a palm energy through the air. Gale blew up on the battle stage. Then a burst of stormy sea and stormy waves swept out and sent that middle-aged late-stage martial emperor flying into the barrier. I concede. That middle-aged man's mouth is overflowing with blood. His face is filled with fear as he loudly shouted. Just as that middle-aged man jumped down, another person jumped up. That is Old Man Murong's son. This guy is also very strong. Ing Qingyu said in low voice. Qin Yun is looking at the battle stage. Apparently, he is thinking about something. Kong Feiqing touched his arm and said with giggle, "Xiao Yun, do you also want to go up and defeat her?" Gong Fian said in low voice, "A Yun, don't tell me you want to marry her." Chapter 9:37. Games. Hearing Qin Yun's words, Ing Qingyu said with smile, "We will go up in a while. She also said that you are allowed to use equipment." Old Fei Tian said with smile, "Brother Yun, if you lose to her, I will help you take out that high-quality Regent Origin Stone." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "I don't want to use equipment to fight her. It will waste a lot of my Dao talismans. I am thinking of a way to get her Regent Origin Stones in a less troublesome manner." Old Fei Tian mischievously laughed and said, "Brother Yun, you are really stingy. When you were sparring with Old Man Murong's 6 grandsons, we thought that you would really use a bunch of Dao talismans to defeat them. We didn't expect that you would only use one talisman." "One talisman is enough." Qin Yun smiled. "I only used it because I thought it was fun." The pighead Dao talisman he used was also very useful. It could cause a lot of psychological disturbance to people. City Master Morong's son also fought very intensely with Yi Yaoshue. This caused many people to exclaim in admiration. Old Man Morong's son is quite strong. He can fight with Yi Yaoshue for so long. Old Fei Tian said, Brother Yun, you should also look carefully. Don't just eat. Leave some for me. Qin Yun thought as he ate. He did not watch the competition. After a short while, the voice of the middle-aged man admitting defeat came from the battle stage. Although City Master Morong's son is very powerful, he was not able to defeat her. Yi Yaoshue fought for a long time, but it is clear that she did not use her full strength. Sai, you guys are too weak. Isn't there anyone stronger? It is not that I am looking down on you, but you are truly useless. Yi Yaoshue faintly sighed. A peerless beauty said such arrogant words on the battle stage, but no one felt disgusted by it, because not only was she powerful, she was also a beauty. Morong Yue is also very envious and jealous looking at Yi Yaoshue. She feels that if she had this kind of ability, she wouldn't have suffered so much grievance. No one dared to go up, and the battle stage immediately turned cold. Qin Yun suddenly stood up. Seeing him stand up, the people around him immediately became excited. Is the great Grandmaster going to take action? Grandmaster, bring your equipment and beat her up. If you win, you can marry her. Then, she will serve you with a mother and daughter. The group of people went astray as they spoke. Yi Yaoshue said with smile, Venerable Master, as long as you pay a high-quality Regent Origin Stone, you will have the opportunity to marry me. Come and try it. Qin Yun faintly smiled. Miss Yi, are you lacking Regent Origin Stones? It's quite lacking. It is a pity that I am not as awesome as a great master who can easily receive so many Regent Origin Stones as gifts. With her current cultivation, she needs high-quality Regent Origin Stones to increase her cultivation. This kind of Regent Origin Stone is very precious. Even Yi Yaoshue rarely receives this kind of gift. Qin Yun said with a smile. That's why I said, what's the use of being good-looking? Nobody gave you high-quality Regent Origin Stones. Yi Yaoshue is somewhat angry and said, Great Master, if you don't want to compete with me, don't make fun of me. Looks like you're really a coward. You only dare to say it, but you don't dare to come up. Morong Yue yelled, What is the point of attacking a woman with words? If you have the guts, go up and fight with her. Qin Yun suddenly took out 2 Regent Origin Stones flickering with golden light and said with smile, Miss Yi, these are 2 king-quality Regent Origin Stones. Everyone knows that Qin Yun gave a king-quality Regent Origin Stone to Yu Shutian before, and now he actually has 2. Many people stood up one after another. They want to see what kind of Regent Origin Stones they have never seen before. Yi Yaoshue's beautiful eyes flickered with amazement and excitement. City Master Morong muttered, This brat has king-quality Regent Origin Stones, but he did not give them to me as gifts. Instead, he gave them even lower-quality Regent Origin Stones. Great Master, what? What are you planning to do? Yi Yaoshue took a deep breath and asked, If you want to compete with me, you will only need 1 high-quality Regent Origin Stone. Qin Yun walked over with the 2 Regent Origin Stones and said with smile, Relax. I will not give them to you. Yi Yaoshue said. Then what do you want to do? Qin Yun said, I want to have a special competition with you. My cultivation is very low, late-stage martial king. If I want to defeat you, I will have to use equipment. Yi Yaoshue said, I will allow you to use equipment, even immortal tools, and I will not use anything. As she spoke, her eyes were fixed on the 2 king-grade Regent Origin Stones. Qin Yun laughed. No, I don't want to use equipment to compete with you. That would be too wasteful. How about this? We will fight on the battle stage within half an incense stick's worth of time. As long as I can bump into you, it will be your loss. Not only you will marry me, you will also give me your 20 Regent Origin Stones. How about it? Everyone cannot help but exclaim in admiration at Qin Yun's resourcefulness. This way, you won't need to use equipment. Those Dao talismans are very expensive. Moreover, everyone can see Qin Yun's speed with their own eyes. Maybe he will truly be able to catch up to Yi Yaoshue and bump into her within half an incense stick's worth of time. Yi Yaoshue's beautiful eyebrows are slightly creased. She thought for a bit and said, "If you don't bump into me within half an incense stick's worth of time, you will give me those 2 Regent Origin Stones, right?" Qin Yun nodded. "You should be clearer than me about the value of these 2 king-quality Regent Origin Stones." Yi Yaoshue said, "I am indeed very clear about it. But it is still too risky. How about this? As long as you can take off one of my clothes within an incense stick's worth of time, it will be your win. At that time, I will be your woman. Moreover, you will also get my 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones." Playing a game of taking off clothes. Everyone did not expect Yi Yaoshue to be so open. "This is not good. People will say that I am a hoodlum. I am a gentleman," Qin Yun said, then glanced at Murong Yue. Everyone secretly looked down on him. Yi Yaoshue said with smile, "Relax, I am wearing 3 layers of clothes. If you take off one, it won't be a problem." This caused many people to feel disappointed. They originally wanted to see something. Old Feitin yelled, "Brother Yun, don't agree. It is simply impossible." Yi Yaoshue said with smile, "It is not difficult. I am not attacking. We're just playing a game of chase. I think it is very easy." Ing Qingyu also loudly shouted, "Brother Yun, you have to take off a whole set of clothes to win. I feel that at most you will only be able to take off half of her clothes. It will be very difficult to take off a whole set." Kong Feiqing also lightly yelled, "Xiao Yun, the clothes she is wearing are very complicated. It will not be easy to take them off in one piece." "Taking off a woman's clothes has never been easy," Qin Yun said with smile. "Great master, you must have taken off many women's clothes, right? Your skill in this aspect must be very high." "Quickly agree," Murong Yue yelled. "I have never taken off many women's clothes," Qin Yun said. Yi Yaoshue faintly smiled. "It is not too difficult for you to win against me." Qin Yun is also considering. He asked, "Can I use talismans?" "You can't use talismans. You also can't attack me. You can only chase me and then think a way to take off my clothes. If you succeed, me and my 20 Regent Origin Stones will be yours. Just take a gamble. Maybe you will succeed." Yi Yaoshue looked at Qin Yun. Her quick-witted eyes are flickering with a trace of charm. They are filled with temptation. Qin Yun said with smile, "All right, I agree." Yi Yaoshue said with smile, "That's good. There is no need to open the barrier. We are not going to fight anyways." Qin Yun agreed. Many people began shouting one after another. City Master Morong said with smile, "Brother Yun is going to suffer big loss this time." A middle-aged half-immortal said, "Dad, forget about a great master who is a martial king. Even I, a half-immortal, would only be able to take off half a piece of clothing." Murong Yue curled her lips and said, "This immoral great master must have been muddled by beauty. That is why he did such a stupid thing. Yi Yaoshue will win for sure." City Master Morong took out an incense stick and said with smile, "Let me be the judge." He lit the incense stick and yelled, "Begin." After the battle began, Qin Yun immediately used Passing Shadow Extinction Breath Step and disappeared from the battle stage. Yi Yaoshue is slightly startled. She promptly jumped to the sky and said with light smile, "I can see you." She finished speaking and also promptly dodged. Qin Yun rushed up and pounced on empty air. Yi Yaoshue's speed is faster than Qin Yun. Everyone can see in a short while. Qin Yun is very clear that even though his speed is very fast, he is not as fast as Yi Yaoshue. Yi Yaoshue is very proud of herself. She kept dodging Qin Yun and said in ridicule, "Great master, hurry up. If you can't take off a piece of my clothing, not only will you lose 2 king-quality Regent Origin Stones, you will also lose 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones, and you won't be able to obtain me." Qin Yun can only chase, he can't attack. Otherwise, he would have used Super Gravity and Tree Totem. It would have been much easier. Just like this, Qin Yun continuously chased after Yi Yaoshue on the battle stage. Yi Yaoshue is always dodging. Moreover, she is constantly laughing. It is as if she is playing with a child. Everyone is very happy watching because this great master Qin Yun is about to suffer a setback. Murong Yue said with smile, Sister Yi, you have won. There is still half an incense stick of time left. Murong Tianjia said in low voice. This great master's speed is truly outstanding. It is almost the same as mine. If he was a martial emperor, maybe his strength would be the same as Yi Yaoshue's. Murong Yue curled her lips and said, How is that possible? He's a guy who studies runes every day. He can't defeat Sister Yi. Old Fei Tian shook his head while watching. Brother Yun is going to fail this time. Ing Qingyu said, No problem. 2 king-quality regent origin stones are nothing to him. That brat is overflowing with wealth. Gong Fian is very nervous watching, she said in low voice. This Yi Yaoshue is constantly teasing a Yun. She is too hateful. On the battle stage, Yi Yaoshue is standing at the edge of the battle stage. Looking at Qin Yun, who is several tens of meters away from her, she said with a light smile, Great master, you touched my clothes just now. You are very awesome. Yi Yaoshue's beautiful face is filled with proud smile. Chapter 9:38. Beast Horn obtained. Yi Yaoshue is very proud of herself. She is very satisfied with today's harvest. Not only she obtained 20 high-quality region origin stones, she also obtained 2 very rare king-quality region origin stones. This kind of rich harvest will surely cause other martial emperors of 100 Pagoda sect to die from jealousy. Come, great master, quickly come, quickly take off my clothes. You won't be able to touch me. Yi Yaoshue charmingly laughed. Her voice is very pleasant to listen to and sweet to the ear. Everyone can feel the happiness in her heart from her laughter. Every time Qin Yun rushed over, Yi Yaoshue would suddenly dodge. Half an incense stick of time has passed. Qin Yun has only touched Yi Yaoshue's clothes once. Yi Yaoshue said with smile, Great master, your movement technique is indeed very strong. After all, you're a late-stage martial king. If you become martial emperor, maybe you will be as fast as me. She is floating in the sky, speaking very directly. Qin Yun immediately rushed over. Yi Yaoshue dodged in a flash as soon as Qin Yun rushed over. Qin Yun continued to chase, but Yi Yaoshue's speed is very fast. She is running back and forth on the battle stage. Both of them are running back and forth on the battle stage at lightning speed. Leaving behind after images, it is impossible to see them clearly. Sometimes they are running on the battle stage. Sometimes they are flying in the sky. It is very dazzling to the eyes of spectators. Big Sister Yi, there is still a bit left. You will soon win. Murong Yue very happily yelled. She is very happy to see Qin Yun lose. Qin Yun looked at the incense stick. Only less than half is left. It seems like I can only try that move. I don't know if it will work or not. Qin Yun said in his heart. Xiao Yun, it will surely succeed. She has nowhere to run. Ling Yuner said, No, there is no barrier on the battle stage. If she's about to be caught, she will suddenly run out of the battle stage. I want to see whether or not I can force her to the center of the battle stage. Qin Yun continued to chase Yi Yaoshue. Yi Yaoshue is secretly amazed because Qin Yun's speed is not too far away from hers. He is almost caught up to her. Everyone has been watching for a long time. They are certain that Qin Yun will lose. Because no matter how they look at it, Qin Yun will not be able to make a comeback. Not only her speed is very fast, her movement technique is also very strange. Even if one's speed is the same as hers, it will not be easy to catch her. Moreover, taking off her clothes is the most difficult part. Just like what other people said, even if he has enough speed, he can at most tear off her clothes. It is simply impossible to smoothly take off her clothes. Originally, Qin Yun proposed that if he meets Yi Yaoshue within half an incense stick worth of time, it would be considered as his victory, but Yi Yaoshue rejected. Otherwise, she would have already lost. Everyone secretly felt a lingering fear for Yi Yaoshue. If Yi Yaoshue had agreed, the consequences would have been too horrible to imagine. According to the rules, she was in an invincible position from the very beginning. Kong Feiqing cursed in low voice. This Yi Yaoshue is too cunning. Little Yin, this brat, really, why did he agree? Gong Fian said, Maybe a Yin thinks he can do it. While running, Yi Yaoshua laughed lightly again and again. It seems like she's having a lot of fun, just like a child chasing and playing. Suddenly, Yi Yaoshua ran to the middle. Qin Yun immediately stopped. Qin Yun stood at the edge of the stage, gasping for breath. Yi Yaoshua said with charming smile, "Great master, are you very tired? Looks like you're working hard. If you lose, don't worry about being laughed at. I, Yi Yaoshua, am a very formidable existence. I am ranked 10th on 100 Pagoda Sect's Martial Emperor ranking. Not to mention you. None of the martial emperors present here can defeat me in such a situation. It is not that I am arrogant, but all the martial emperors here are trash." These words of hers, this caused many martial emperors to feel very unhappy, but they could not do anything because Yi Yaoshua was indeed very strong. Qin Yun laughed. "Miss Yi, I admit that I underestimated you before." Yi Yaoshua sweetly smiled and said, "Venerable master, it seems like you were not interested in me before. How about now? Now, you are indeed qualified to be my woman." Qin Yun said with smile, "But you're not qualified to be my man." Yi Yaoshua proudly smiled. "Even though you are very talented in inscription, I feel that your strength is not as good as mine. Right now, you can't even take off my clothes. What right do you have to be my man?" Qin Yun said, "Miss Yi, when you look for a man, do you only look at strength and nothing else?" Yi Yaoshua twirled her hair and said with smile, "Of course, if a man is not as strong as me, he is not worthy of me." She looked at the incense stick below the stage and said again, "Are you admitting defeat?" "Of course not." Qin Yun finished speaking, and one after another shadow appeared on his body. Everyone stood up one after another and cried out in alarm while looking at the battle stage. Qin Yun's body appeared on all sides in just a few moments. In just a few short moments, there were more than 100 Qin Yuns on all sides of the battling platform. They are all exactly the same Qin Yun. This is one of the 9 extinction steps, 1,000 illusion myriad transformation steps. This is a very fantastic footwork technique. It allows Qin Yun to create many illusions while running at a very fast speed. All of these illusions have his aura, and it is very hard to tell which one is real. To use this technique, one must have very strong mental power and sufficient energy. Yi Yaoshua saw more than 100 Qin Yun suddenly approach her and became somewhat flustered in her heart. She promptly soared up to the sky. "This is all a smoke screen." Yi Yaoshua lightly groaned and quickly rushed up to the sky. There are many Qin Yun waiting for her there. Yi Yaoshua increased her speed and indeed broke through a few Qin Yun's illusions. But just now, she felt that something is missing from her body. Now all the illusions on the battle stage have disappeared. Only Qin Yun is left on the battle stage. Qin Yun is floating in the sky. He is holding a light pink undergarment in his hand and said with smile, "Miss Yi, this is your undergarment." Yi Yaoshua's face and ears immediately became red. She looked at the pink undergarment in Qin Yun's hand in anger and shame. She now feels that her body is completely empty. It turns out Qin Yun took off her undergarment. Everyone burst into ambiguous laughter. "Immoral, venerable master," Morong Yue loudly cursed. This is not my undergarment." Yi Yaoshua promptly yelled. Just as she finished speaking, many Qin Yuns appeared all around her. More than 100 Qin Yun rushed over. Yi Yaoshua immediately screamed in fear and covered her body with her hands. Very soon, Qin Yun's other illusions disappeared. Only one is left. Qin Yun is holding 2 pieces of clothing in his hands. One is the pink undergarment he took off earlier, and the other is a thin white clothing. "You have 3 layers of clothing on your body. I have already taken off 2 of them. You only have 1 piece of clothing on your body," Qin Yun said with smile. "If you don't admit that the 2 pieces of clothing in my hands are yours, then take off the outermost piece of clothing on your body." Yi Yaoshua's jade-like face is filled with shame. Although she still has a piece of clothing on her body, she feels that her body is completely empty. She cannot help but tightly cover her body with her hands. At this time, the incense stick has finished burning. "I have 1 hand over 20 Regent Origin stones," Qin Yun said with smile. Everyone is shocked and tongue-tied. Because from Yi Yaoshua's reaction, Qin Yun has indeed won. Qin Yun used mysterious penetration divine ability to tear off Yi Yaoshua's inner clothes. Yi Yaoshua tightly gritted her jade like teeth. She is also very scared because if Qin Yun carelessly tore off her outermost clothes, Murong Yue stamped her foot and said, "This immoral, venerable master, how can he be so shameless, taking off clothes from the inside, making big sister Yi so embarrassed?" Yi Yaoshua promptly took out a large gown and draped it over her body. It is clearly a very good Dao tool used to protect her body. Here are the Regent Origin Stones. Yi Yaoshua's expression is filled with unwillingness as she threw out the Regent Origin Stones. Qin Yun immediately picked them up and said with smile, "You are now my woman. Come with me." Yi Yaoshua lightly groaned and said, "You can't defeat me. I am not your woman. Quickly give me back my clothes. You are shameless." Qin Yun said with smile, "This result is not at all unexpected to him. Quickly give me back my clothes." Yi Yaoshua yelled. Qin Yun put away the Regent Origin Stones and said, "We agreed before, if I can take off your clothes, you will be mine. How can you go back on your words?" Yi Yaoshua stamped her foot, then soared into the sky and flew far away. She doesn't want her clothes anymore. Qin Yun immediately yelled, "This is 100 Pagoda Sect Yi Yaoshua's undergarment. I will auction it on the spot. Who wants it?" The scene immediately exploded. Laughter and cries of alarm rang out. Yi Yaoshua promptly flew back and loudly cursed, "Bastard, quickly give me back my clothes." "I won't give it back. Who told you to act shamelessly?" Qin Yun said with smile. Yi Yaoshua saw many people are becoming restless, wanting to buy her undergarment. She immediately shouted, "Whoever wants to buy my clothes, I will make him suffer." Qin Yun laughed loudly. "All right, I will put on display in the whole city." Yi Yaoshua's face became red as she furiously said, "You pervert, I will teach you a lesson." Old Fei Tian promptly flew over and said with smile, "Miss Yi, don't attack. Immoral venerable master, just you wait." Yi Yaoshua is very angry. She ran away without even turning her head back. Qin Yun curled his lips and stored the clothes. Murong Yue loudly cursed, "Wretched guy, you are done for. Sister Yi is a goddess in 100 Pagoda Sect. Many martial emperors will surely come to cause trouble for you." Qin Yun said with smile, "I am not afraid." He walked over to City Master Murong's side and said with smile, "City Master, that beast horn." City Master Murong let out a long sigh, then waved his hand to give the beast horn to Qin Yun. Everyone cannot help but suck in a mouthful of cold air seeing this scene. City Master Murong actually bought that beast horn and gave it to Qin Yun. Qin Yun said with smile, "City Master Murong is truly straightforward. He also keeps his promise." The incomparably precious beast horn has fallen into Qin Yun's hands. This caused many half-immortals to feel very jealous. Murong Yue and other few younger generation are also very unhappy. Qin Yun looked at Murong Yue and said with smile, "Many thanks, Miss Murong. If you did not lose to me, City Master Murong would not have given me this beast horn. It is all thanks to Miss Murong that I can obtain this beast horn. Thank you very much. You are angering me to death." Murong Yue's face became deep red in anger. She clenched her fists and wanted to attack, but was stopped by Murong Tianjia. Everyone now realized that there was actually a gamble in the martial arts competition. Murong Yue's group attacked Qin Yun together and lost, so City Master Murong gave the beast horn to Qin Yun. Chapter 939. The assessment is over. Of course, Qin Yun is not truly chasing after her because he can't catch up to her. He brought Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing away. Soon after, Old Fei Tian and Ing Qingyu also caught up. Old Fei Tian is from a big family in Heaven's Pride City. With him, they can easily bring people into Heaven's Pride City. Heaven's Pride City is holding a test. Whoever passes the test will become a disciple of 100 Pagoda Sect. Qin Yun calculated the time. As long as he returned to Heaven's Pride City, it would not be long before the test results were out. Old Fatian's mood is very good after crossing heavenly tribulation. He is chatting and laughing with Qin Yun along the way. Qin Yun feels that with Old Fatian's protection, it will be easier for him to do things in the future. After returning to Heaven's Pride City, Qin Yun immediately learned that the assessment results will be out tomorrow. This is the final stage of the assessment. Lan, Chun, Hong Mengshu, and Yu Shutian have not come out yet. It means they can last until the end. Many half-immortals and martial emperors have gathered in Old Fatian's Tian family manor. They came to congratulate Old Fatian after learning that he had crossed 6 tribulations. Qin Yun, Gong Fian, and Kong Feiqing returned to rest. It's really tiring. Qin Yun used the 1,000 Illusions Myriad transformation before, and it consumed a lot of energy. Xiao Yun, you're amazing. I thought you would lose for sure. Kong Feiqing said with smile, now I am somewhat afraid of you. I am worried that you will take off my clothes. Yun, are you not planning to return those clothes to Yi Yaoxue? Gong Fian asked. Wait for her to come and get it herself. This woman has agreed to marry me, but she doesn't want to admit it. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, wait until I enter 100 Pagoda sect. See how I deal with her. I'm going to rest first. Qin Yun hastily returned to his room and showed the beast horn to Yao Fong. After Yao Fong saw the beast horn, she said in shock, Qin Yun, this is the horn of an immortal king beast. As for what kind of beast it is, I don't know for now. Qin Yun said, Sister Yao Fong, can I use it to refine tools? If you can smelt it, you can. But with your current strength, you can't do it. Yao Fong said, when there is a chance, Bing Xing and I will join hands and help you refine it. We have helped you a lot in the past. In Qin Yun's previous life, he tricked powerful beauties like Bing Xing to do hard labor and help him refine artifacts. Therefore, they're very familiar with the process. Sister Yao Fong, I met a very special woman today. She is very strong, but I don't know what kind of power she is using. Qin Yun said, tell me. Yao Fong said. Qin Yun immediately informed Yao Fong about his relationship with Yi Yaoxue. I really wonder if you've awakened your memories. In your previous life, you also stole Yue Qin's underwear to auction. Yao Fong coldly groaned. My memories haven't awakened yet. Qin Yun said with an awkward smile. Yao Fong said, the woman you're talking about has a red variant martial spirit. If my guess is not wrong, it should be an inscription martial spirit. Inscription martial spirit? Qin Yun asked doubtfully. He had only heard of inscription spirit. Inside the awakened martial spirit, there is some kind of rune. Those runes can allow her to obtain very strong and formidable power. Yao Fong said, for example, if you use materials to refine a tool, if it is just an embryo, the power will be very limited. If you carve runes on it, the embryo will possess special power. Is this kind of martial spirit common? Qin Yun asked. There are many in Immortal Desolate, because soul-refining masters with superb technique can carve runes on their martial spirit in the later stage. They can also refine inscription martial spirit after birth. Of course, this is very risky. If you fail or don't use it properly, the martial spirit will scatter. Yao Fong said. Qin Yun also carved runes on his martial spirit before, so after hearing Yao Fong's words, he realized how awesome Yi Yaoxue is. Yao Fong said again, she has a red variant martial spirit. Moreover, she was born with runes. She is certainly stronger than inscription martial spirits after birth. Qin Yun said with smile, I really want to capture her and study her. This woman promised to be my woman, yet she ran away like this. You stubborn bastard, Yao Fong said in a very bad mood. Qin Yun laughed, then lied down on the bed and rested for 2 hours. After he recovered, he took out a stack of papers and carefully and earnestly looked at them. Ying Qingyu gave him a task to refine a beast skin grand formation. This formation is very big. It is a 50 meters wide circular formation. Qin Yun looked at it with frown. Ying Qingyu provided the required runes. They are full of star runes and Dao runes. Wait until I finish refining. I will know what kind of formation it is. Qin Yun looked at it and feels that it is not too difficult. He only needs some time. After daybreak, Qin Yun used a sound transmission conch to call Ing Chengyu. Ing Chengyu gave Qin Yun all the required materials. Moreover, he gave him 2 portions. He is worried that Qin Yun will fail, so he gave him 2 portions. Brat, roughly when can you deliver the goods? If you can successfully refine it, I will give you 10 mid-quality Regent Origin stones. Ing Chengyu asked. Only 10? Qin Yun feels that it is too little. It's a lot, all right. I borrowed them. Ing Chengyu cursed in low voice. You have so many Regent Origin stones. Don't look down on me. All right, Qin Yun said, but you must tell me what effect it has. I want to test it after I finish refining. This. Actually, it is a trap formation. Ing Chengyu said with evil smile. You refine it. Be careful. All right, I will contact you in 1 month. Qin Yun said with smile. Give me the Regent Origin stones. Here are 5 for now. Ing Chengyu handed over 5 Regent Origin stones to Qin Yun and said again, you must hide your identity well. Many martial emperor-level males of 100 Pagoda sect want to skin you alive because of Yi Yao Xue. I will enter 100 Pagoda sect soon. Qin Yun said, do you want to go with Yu Shutian or Hong Mengshu? Ing Chengyu is somewhat worried. Don't go with them. Everyone knows that they are your girls. No matter how you disguise yourself, people will suspect you. I won't go with them. Brother you are truly concerned about me. Qin Yun said. Ing Chengyu said with mischievous smile. I am afraid that you will die. I gave you 5 Regent Origin stones and a large amount of materials. If you die, my loss will be great. Qin Yun cannot help but smile and said, do I look that weak? All right. I will go find my friends and fish out some things. You can stay here and enjoy yourself. Ing Chengyu curled his lips and then left the small house. Gong Fian and Kong Feiqing are still inside a house. They're using Heavenly Rune Bead to cultivate. Because they have been using Heavenly Rune Bead for many years, the power they cultivate is very special and there are no side effects. If other people cultivate with Heavenly Rune Bead for a long time, their power would gradually become weaker. Qin Yun walked over and knocked on the door. Kong Feiqing promptly opened the door and asked, Xiao Yun, what's the matter? Meng Shu and Xiao Tian should be back today. At that time, you two will enter 100 Pagoda sect with them. They will enter the same pagoda. You mother and daughter will also be together. Qin Yun said. Many thanks, A Yun. Gong Fian said with grateful expression. You are welcome. I am very grateful to you for obtaining that heavenly rune. Qin Yun said with smile. That heavenly rune is very useful to him. Kong Feiqing charmingly smiled. Xiao Yun, wait for Big Sister to become stronger. I will surely help you capture Yi Yao Xue. Many thanks, Big Sister Kong. Qin Yun said with smile. No need to be polite. Kong Feiqing caressed Qin Yun's handsome face with smile. At this time, Qin Yun's sound transmission conch bust. He promptly took it out and saw that it is Hong Mengshu. Brother Yun, we have passed the assessment. We are on the way to Tian Family Manor. We heard about you and Yi Yaoshua's matter. Yi Yaoshua's fame in 100 Pagoda sect is not ordinary. She is also very popular among male disciples. Now you have taken off her underwear. I feel like you're done for. Hong Mengshu said with smile. Ayun, after we enter 100 Pagoda sect, do you want us to help you negotiate with Yi Yaoshua? Give her back her bra. I heard that underwear is a very awesome Dao tool. It is very important to her. Yu Shutian said with smile. Although Yi Yaoshua is very popular, it is all empty. Otherwise, she would not have to go everywhere to collect Regent Origin stones. Wait until we enter 100 Pagoda sect. Oh, that's right, I won't go with you. Help me bring 2 people in. Soon after, Qin Yun informed Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian about the mother and daughter duo. Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian also agreed to bring them in when the time comes. Qin Yun also found out that Lan Shun has returned to Heaven's Pride City's Divine Inscription Palace. Therefore, he did not wait for Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian and directly left for Divine Inscription Palace. Qin Yun arrived at Divine Inscription Palace and very quickly found Lan Shun. Lan Shun saw Qin Yun arrive and very enthusiastically received him. He He promptly brought Qin Yun to a very luxurious private room and ordered many dishes. Qin Yun also began eating without any politeness and said with smile, "Old Lan, why are you suddenly so enthusiastic towards me?" Lan Shun said, "Qin Yun, it is all thanks to you carving star totem on my martial spirit. My strength increased greatly and all aspects improved by a lot. Otherwise, I would not have been able to smoothly pass the assessment." "Then, Old Lan, how will you thank me?" Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. "Qin Yun, you are now much richer than me. I know that you obtained 20 high-quality Regent Origin Stones from City Master Morong's birthday banquet. That is something I am very envious of," Lan Shan said with bitter smile. "Therefore, this poor ghost can only treat you to a meal. Old Lan, you should know that I have a conflict with Yi Yaoshua, right?" Qin Yun asked. "You brat, you're truly awesome," Lan Shan said with evil smile. "Many male disciples of 100 Pagoda sect want to suppress you because of this matter," Qin Yun said. "Originally, I wanted to enter 100 Pagoda sect with Meng Shu or Xiao Tian, but now everyone knows that I know them. If I enter with them, my identity will surely be suspected. Therefore, I want you to bring me into 100 Pagoda sect. We will be in the same pagoda, all right?" Lan Shan immediately became very happy hearing this and said, "No problem. However, when the time comes, don't let people know that you are a venerable master." Chapter 940. Star Traveling Pagoda. Lan Shan very much wants Qin Yun to follow him. After all, Qin Yun's venerable master title was bestowed by those half-immortals. Moreover, Qin Yun is the sect master of Inscription Gate and knows how to refine souls. Lan Shan doesn't have anyone to protect him after entering 100 Pagoda sect. If he brings Qin Yun along, it will be a lot better. Qin Yun said, "Old Lan, have you inquired about Boss yet?" "I have inquired. Rest assured, after I enter, I will find a way to contact Xia Wufeng," Lan Shan said with smile. Lan Shan is also afraid of being bullied inside 100 Pagoda sect. Xia Wufeng is also a very powerful person inside 100 Pagoda sect. Therefore, Lan Shan has already inquired about Xia Wufeng's situation. Qin Yun asked again, "Then when can we enter 100 Pagoda sect?" Lan Shan took out a token. The token looks like a pagoda. It has Star Traveling Pagoda written on it. The pagoda I entered is called Star Traveling Pagoda. After we finish eating, we will immediately enter. I will take you to report first and also let you receive a token like this." Lan Shan said, "I passed the assessment, so the token is golden, and if you follow me, your token will be silver. Even though people with silver token are disciples, they cannot enjoy the resources provided by 100 Pagoda sect." Qin Yun took the golden token, looked at it, and said with smile, "It doesn't matter. I want to enter 100 Pagoda sect to see if there is anything fun." Lan Shan said, "Qin Yun, you control many cultivation resources. The amount provided by 100 Pagoda sect is nothing to you. Of course, even though you have silver token, you can still learn many things inside." Qin Yun also wants to learn many things related to stars. This is also the reason why he wants to enter 100 Pagoda sect. "Oh, that's right. You must not expose your identity when the time comes. You have offended Yi Yaoshua. This is not a joke," Lan Shan warned. "What is so awesome about Yi Yaoshua?" Qin Yun asked. "She is a disciple of First Pagoda. The strongest pagoda in 100 Pagoda sect is called First Pagoda. Moreover, she is the chief disciple of First Pagoda. She has many awesome senior brothers and elders. She has been bullied. First Pagoda's disciples will surely help her." Lan Shan is also secretly apprehensive when speaking of Yi Yaoshua. "Then what kind of people are her elders?" Qin Yun asked again. "I did not manage to inquire about her parents and ancestors. I only know that she was taken as a disciple by an old woman from the First Pagoda when she was a child," said Lan Shan. "Is Yi Yaoshua's position in 100 Pagoda sect really very high? Then why does she want to collect Regent Origin Stones herself? Won't 100 Pagoda sect provide it to her?" Qin Yun is very doubtful about this. "Qin Yun, do you think Regent Origin Stones are stones that can be easily obtained? Yi Yaoshua is so young, yet she is so powerful." First Pagoda has provided her with many resources. Yaoshue also knows that she is occupying too many resources, so she rejected First Pagoda's offer and only took her own share. Then she will look for other resources. Lan Shen said with smile, I have to say this Yaoshue is really not bad. Qin Yin said with smile, I thought the matter of her being popular was all fake, because nobody gave her region origin stones. Aren't they just high-quality region origin stones? There are so many young masters. Even if each of them gave one to her, she would not be able to use them all. Lan Shen has a speechless expression as he said, Qin Yin, I already said that region origin stones are not stones. Not to mention high-quality region origin stones. Even low-quality region origin stones are very precious. Those young masters, no matter how much they squander, they will not casually give away high-quality region origin stones. Of course, if they give away high-quality region origin stones, it would be more like marrying Yi Yaoshue. Even old martial emperors who have high-quality region origin stones are keeping them for their own use. They can't even bear to give them to their sons, let alone give them to a woman they can't even touch. How can they be like you, casually giving away a king-quality region origin stone to a woman, truly a wastrel? Ling Yuner delicately giggled and said in Qin Yun's mind, Xiao Yun, you have regent stone mothers. Moreover, you also have many regent origin stones. You are the one who thinks that it is nothing. Lan Shen very disdainfully looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun, later if you have regent origin stones, don't carelessly give them away. Keep them for your own use. Qin Yun did not give away the regent origin stone. Yu Shutian returned it to him. I know. Qin Yun nodded. Lan Shen and Qin Yun finished eating, then left Divine Inscription Palace and left Heaven's Pride City. Lan Shen took out his golden command token. It will guide him to Star Traveling Pagoda. I inquired. Star Traveling Pagoda and Misuse Group are not far from Ancient Star Pagoda, Lan Shen said. His golden command token flickered and flickered, guiding the way. After leaving Heaven's Pride City, they can see a large mountain on the east side. There are many towering pagodas. Many huge pagodas are towering on the mountain. They look like heaven-supporting pillars. The majestic mountain seems somewhat dim in front of the huge pagodas. Although these 100 pagodas are very far apart from each other, they're all connected to each other. These 100 pagodas also form a very large formation. 100 Pagoda Heaven-Raising Formation is the largest and strongest formation in Xian Domain. It is said that it covers a radius of 10,000 li. Even if a star falls down, it can block it. Lan Shen said. They're also flying over a very tall and very large square pagoda. Can it block heavenly tribulation? Qin Yin curiously asked. It can. But after leaving the 100 Pagoda Heaven-Raising Formation, the heavenly tribulation will sense it. Lan Shen looked at a 10,000-meter-tall pagoda and said, some pagodas are renovated or rebuilt. Some have existed since the beginning. Are the more ancient pagodas stronger? Qin Yun asked. He looked all around, looking at the various pagodas. Of course not. The newer pagodas are, the more powerful they are, because only powerful pagodas have enough resources to rebuild or renovate them. Lan Shen said with sigh, the Star Traveling Pagoda we are going to is an ancient pagoda. It is said to be very short, the shortest pagoda in 100 Pagoda sect. Qin Yun said with smile, it doesn't matter. We are going there to learn knowledge. Lan Shen has Star Totem, so he doesn't need to rely too much on resources. Yu Shutian said that entering Star Traveling Pagoda will be very helpful for traveling through the starry sky in the future. That is why Lan Shen wants to go. So long as they become the first pagoda, they will change their name to First Pagoda. If they lose their ranking, they will revert to their original name. Lan Shen looked at the top of the six-sided pagoda in the distance and said, that is the first pagoda, the tallest and the biggest pagoda. It has tens of thousands of disciples. It is said that if all the disciples of First Pagoda move out, they can sweep through Second to 10th Pagoda. Their strength is very formidable. It will be very difficult to shake their position in a short period of time. And First Pagoda's Pagoda Master, is also the sect master of 100 Pagoda Sect. 100 Pagoda Sect has 1 sect master, 10 elders for law protectors, and 3 grand elders. And First Pagoda has 1 sect master, 3 elders, 1 grand elder, and 2 law protectors. Moreover, they have good relationship with 30 pagoda masters. Lanchan glanced at Qin Yun and said, "Now do you know how awesome that little girl Yao Xue is?" Qin Yun laughed. He is not the least bit afraid. First Pagoda is the overlord of 100 Pagoda Sect. But Qin Yun is a very experienced and knowledgeable person. Moreover, he has divine Tool Sun Soul, 9 Sun Divine Soul, and Yao Fong, a formidable immortal king. He has nothing to fear. Xiao Wufeng and Hong Yin are in Divine Sword Pagoda. Hui Zhong and Murong Shaoran are in Heavenly Beast Pagoda. Heavenly Beast Pagoda is ranked 9th. Divine Sword Pagoda is ranked 2nd. It is also a very good pagoda. Lanchan said, "What about the Star Traveling Pagoda we are going to? What is its rank?" Qin Yun asked. "I don't know. There are only 50 pagoda. Those below 50 are not ranked. Nobody cares. In any case, Star Traveling Pagoda cannot enter top 50. Lanchan said with smile, "This is also good. At least our Star Traveling Pagoda will not receive that much attention. We can calmly study." Qin Yun and Lanchan are chatting while flying. They are passing through many huge and magnificent pagoda. At dusk, they arrive beside a very large lake. The lake is dyed bright red by the setting sun. There is a 10-storied old wooden pagoda beside the lake. This old wooden pagoda looks like it can be blown down by a gust of wind. Moreover, there are many weapon attack marks on the outside of the pagoda. There is a missing corner sign hanging on the door of the first floor, Star Traveling Pagoda. Not a single one of those 3 words is complete. They are all faded. Motherfucker. This Star Traveling Pagoda is so much worse than I expected. Lanchan has the urge to raise his head to the sky and curse. Is Ancient Star Pagoda better than this place? Qin Yun asked. Ancient Star Pagoda, ranked 35, of course it is very good. Lanchan sighed and said, "Forget it. We are already here. What can we do?" The door is wide open because there is no door at all. It is truly rotten. Lanchan grumbled. An old man with messy white hair, wearing gray clothes, hastily ran out and said with smile, "Are you Lanchan?" "Hello, junior brother Lan." Qin Yun and Qin Yun looked at each other because they believe that this old man should be a pagoda master or an elder of the pagoda, but he is actually just a disciple. Pagoda master, junior brother Lan has arrived. Junior brother Lan has arrived, the old man yelled. Soon after, a large group of old men ran down. There are more than a dozen of them. "Hello, junior brother. Hello, junior brother." These old men are all very old. Their backs are hunched. It looks like they're going to die at any time. Qin Yun looked at these old men. Most of them are martial kings. There are a few martial emperors among them who look like they are completely exhausted. At this time, an old granny slowly walked over while leaning on a walking stick. She is not that old. Moreover, she is also a half-immortal. Although Lanchan is completely disappointed in his heart, he still politely said, "Greetings, Pagoda Master. I am Lanchan. This is the silver disciple I brought. His name is Qin Xiao Yun." On the road, Lanchan said that this Pagoda Master is called Granny Star. She is a very kind and benevolent person. "Hello, little junior brother. Hello, little junior brother." Those old men very happily yelled. "Hello, senior brothers." Qin Yun also yelled with a smile on his face. He feels very strange to have such a group of old senior brothers. That's right, Pagoda Master. According to reason, there should be another golden disciple. Did he not come? Lanchan said. That's right. He passed the assessment together with me. Every pagoda recruits 2 golden disciples. Then the 2 disciples they brought are silver disciple. Granny Star said with sigh. He was scared away. He threw down the golden disciple and left. She finished speaking, handed over the golden disciple to Qin Yun, and said with smile, "Xiao Yun, I have modified this golden disciple. From now on you will be our Star Traveling Pagoda's golden disciple." Lanchan feels like he's being screwed by a dog because he passed the assessment with great difficulty to become a golden disciple. Chapter 941. Star teleporter Granny. Star very quickly finished making a golden token, handed it over to Qin Yun, and said with smile, "Drip blood on it." Qin Yun felt somewhat worried as he asked, "Pagoda Master, I didn't pass the assessment, and yet I can become a golden disciple. Will that be all right?" Lan Shan worriedly said, "Pagoda Master, I heard the 100 Pagoda sect is very strict with their disciples. Xiaoyan didn't pass the test and directly became a gold disciple. Will he be blamed?" Qin Yun heard that 100 Pagoda sect's official disciple recruitment is very strict. Only those who pass the assessment can enter. Granny Star chuckled and said, "Relax. Our star traveling pagoda is so broken, no one will care about our disciples." These words caused Qin Yun and Lan Shun to feel strange in their hearts. They feel like vomiting blood. Qin Yun also dripped blood on the gold medal. From now on, he is Star Traveling Pagoda's gold medal disciple. "Pagoda Master, do our Star Traveling Pagoda only have these people?" Qin Yun looked at those old men. Indeed, originally there were a few more, but they all died yesterday. Granny Star said with sigh, "Greetings, senior brothers." Lan Shun bowed towards those elders. Qin Yun followed Lan Shun and bowed to those senior brothers. Those senior brothers are very happy because after so many years, their Star Traveling Pagoda finally has new disciples. Star Traveling Pagoda's people are all very old. There is not a single middle-aged person. It can be seen how serious the gap in the middle is. Granny Star said, "You two youngsters don't look down on our Star Traveling Pagoda. Although our Star Traveling Pagoda is rather shabby, we have a very glorious history. When 100 Pagoda sect was founded, our Star Traveling Pagoda was the first pagoda." As she spoke, she pointed at a stone tablet erected in the corner of the first floor's hall. Sure enough, the 3 words "First Pagoda" were written on it. Qin Yun's eyes lit up as he asked, "Pagoda Master, how did our Star Traveling Pagoda become the first pagoda back then?" Granny Star's eyes are filled with reminiscence. She said, "We can obtain large amount of starry sky resources. Our Star Traveling Pagoda's first pagoda master traversed many galaxies and brought back a great amount of cultivation resources. Later, because some disciples frequently went to the starry sky and then disappeared or never came back, it caused our Star Traveling Pagoda to decline." Lan Shan frowned and said, "Pagoda Master, how do you obtain cultivation resources now? Senior brothers, you look so old. Is it because you don't have enough cultivation resources?" Granny Star let out a long sigh and said, "Don't mention it. In the past, because one of our pagoda masters made a mistake, our Star Traveling Pagoda's resources for 30,000 years were deducted. In the future, you could just call me Granny Star." Star Traveling Pagoda has become like this. I don't have the qualifications to be the pagoda master. When Lan Shan came here, he knew that Star Traveling Pagoda's resources are not many. But now it seems like the situation is even worse than he imagined. Luckily, he and Qin Yun can survive without relying on resources. "Granny Star, how many years will it take before we can obtain resources?" Qin Yun asked. "Another 8,000 years." Granny Star shook her head and sighed. "It is all because of our pagoda master. He was too impulsive back then and killed the pagoda master and a group of pagoda's stewards in one breath." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "This should have nothing to do with Star Traveling Pagoda. Star Traveling Pagoda's pagoda master must have also been punished, right?" Granny Star also said very angrily, "Indeed, it indeed has nothing to do with us younger generation. But vast young pagoda suffered disastrous losses back then. They wanted us to compensate, so they deducted our resources for 30,000 years. Now Vast Young Pagoda is the first pagoda. It's also because of our resources that they were able to grow so quickly." Lan Shan said in amazement, "So 100 Pagoda sect has this kind of history. Vast Young Pagoda has been the first pagoda for so long and has so many disciples. It is all because they have seized Star Traveling Pagoda's resources." "That's right. Our star-traveling pagoda once made great contributions, so we obtained a lot of resources. Then they were taken away by vast young pagoda. Granny Star is filled with helplessness and anger while talking about the past. Lanshan looked at the simple and crude first-floor hall and said, Star-traveling pagoda has existed for more than 20,000 years. It is already very good. Granny Star said, Junior brothers, don't be discouraged. Don't be scared away by the current situation. Our star-traveling pagoda was once prosperous. Our foundation is still there. Other senior brothers also promptly nodded. Lanshan rubbed his bald head and asked, Granny Star, we came here to study starry sky knowledge. Do you still have that knowledge? Granny Star nodded and said with a smile, Of course it is. It is our star-traveling pagoda's most precious thing. Very good. Can we go take a look now? Qin asked. Of course you can. Come, follow me. Granny Star said. Granny Star brought Qin and Lanshan to a corner. Qin pointed at another direction and said, Granny Star, the stairs are over there. Granny Star said with a smile, Our star-traveling pagoda's knowledge is not in this broken pagoda. Qin and Lanshan are somewhat amazed. They looked at each other and are secretly looking forward to it. After Granny Star arrived at a corner, she said, Look below. Can you see anything? Qin saw with a glance that there is a 3-meter wide ring at this corner. He carefully looked, and his expression immediately became filled with shock as he said, Teleportation formation. Granny Star and other senior brothers also have shocked expression on their faces. Xiaoyan, how do you know? Granny Star asked in alarm. I studied runes for a period of time. That's why I can recognize it. Qin laughed. Qin is also very amazed seeing this teleportation formation because it is completely different from the ones he saw before. The majority of the teleportation formation under his feet have star and moon runes, followed by sun runes. There are no Dao runes. This means that this is a starry sky teleportation formation. It is not a teleportation formation on the ground. Granny Star said, Let's go. I will bring you to our star-traveling pagoda's library. Granny Star activated the teleportation formation and disappeared from the corner of star-traveling pagoda in a short while. Qin and Lanshan's eyes flashed with a burst of brightly colored light, and then they arrived at an unknown place. Qin raised his head and saw a huge cyan-colored star. It gave him a kind of oppressive feeling. There are many multicolored huge stars all around in all directions. They're slowly moving and rotating, as if they're going to press down at any moment. Lanshan jumped in fright, seeing those huge stars all around. We are on a very small star, Granny Star said with a smile. Qin and Lanshan looked below their feet. There's also a teleportation formation, and there's a very large house ahead. Granny Star pointed at the stars all around and said, Although these stars are incomparably huge, don't worry, they won't collide with us. These stars were originally placed here by our star-traveling pagoda seniors to protect this place. A super great formation set up by stars. Qin deeply inhaled a mouthful of cold air. He cannot help but admire the strength of star-traveling pagoda seniors. He is also secretly excited in his heart, because this means that star-traveling pagoda must have a great amount of star formation inheritance. There will be even more star runes. Let's go, we will go. Granny Star is also very happy because she can see that Qin and Lanshan are very sincere in learning knowledge. Their star-traveling pagoda has not had any young people for many years. It is mainly because they were scared away. Granny Star, those senior brothers are so old. Don't you think of a way to help them break through? If they don't break through, they will die of old age. Qin said, There is no way. If I want to break through, they can only think of a way to obtain a great amount of energy, but we don't have resources. They're also very old. They don't have enough energy to fight for it. Granny Star let out a long sigh and said, There were many young people who joined our star-traveling pagoda before, but many of them wanted to swindle our knowledge. So I drove them away. As time passed, the number of disciples left became fewer and fewer. They also became older and older. but they are all very loyal to Star Traveling Pagoda. Lan Chun said, Granny Star, are you sure that we are not here to swindle our knowledge? Granny Star said with chuckle, as long as you can smoothly enter that star-picking pavilion, it means that you are sincere in joining our Star Traveling Pagoda. Qin Yun suddenly became somewhat worried and said, Granny Star, I am afraid that I won't be able to smoothly enter. Granny Star pulled Qin Yun's hand and said with a smile, Xiao Yun, what is your purpose in coming to Star Traveling Pagoda? Qin Yun said, to study knowledge. Then, I saw that Star Traveling Pagoda is in such a bad condition. I also want to help Star Traveling Pagoda and make it better. That's good, Granny Star said with a smile, then pulled Qin Yun and quickly rushed towards that 3-story tall pavilion. The entrance is open, but there is a barrier around it. Granny Star brought Qin Yun and quickly entered the star-picking pavilion's entrance. Hee, we have smoothly entered. Xiao Yun, you are now our Star Traveling Pagoda's disciple. Granny Star looked at Lan Chun and yelled, Xiao Lan, quickly come in. Lan Chun somewhat guiltily rushed over and also smoothly passed through the entrance. What is the principle behind this barrier? It can actually detect whether someone is sincere or not. Lan Chun looked at the barrier and asked in amazement, This is something our Star Traveling Pagoda's seniors created. Many spies were unable to pass through anyway. Granny Star became even more happy because Qin Yun and Lan Chun have been acknowledged. After Qin Yun and Lan Chun entered, they saw many bookshelves. This caused them to have a headache because there's simply too many books. Granny Star, what should we study? Qin Yun asked in confusion. Xiao Yun, which aspect of star knowledge are you interested in? Granny Star asked. I like star formation and star runes. Then I want to study all kinds of star resources, star spirits, star totems, star martial spirits, and so on. I heard that moon and 9 suns are also a kind of star. I am very interested in these 2 aspects. Qin Yun said while thinking. Xiao Yun, this is very extensive. Granny Star said in amazement and then looked at Lan Chun. Lan Chun said, I want to study how to use Star Totem's power. Furthermore, I want to travel the Star Ocean. I want to study these 2 aspects. Chapter 942. Pagoda Master Qin Yun and Lan Chun are sitting at a table near the wall, patiently waiting for Granny Star to find books. Granny Star ran up and down, took out thick and old books from the bookshelf, and put them into 2 storage bags. Less than half a day later, Granny Star finished busying herself, then took out 2 storage bags and handed them over to Qin Yun and Lan Chun. Qin Yun and Lan Chun took the bags and looked inside. They found out that there are many books inside. Granny Star said with a smile, Take out the books and put them on the ground. I will teach you how to read books. Qin Yun and Lan Chun are somewhat doubtful. They can read books. There is no need to teach them. They doubtfully took out the books from the storage bags and put them on the ground. Qin Yun has the most books in his storage bag. There are more than 20 books. Lan Chun only has 5 books. Granny Star said, When you open a book, you will see a book's spirit. So long as you absorb the book's spirit, the book's knowledge will appear in your mind. If you have time, you can absorb the book's spirit bit by bit and obtain knowledge. Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration and said, Won't it be very easy to obtain great amount of knowledge? Of course not. You need to absorb the book's spirit bit by bit. It won't appear in your mind all at once. This is to let you comprehend the knowledge better. Granny Star stroked Qin Yun's head and said with a smile. Qin Yun opened a book and a ball of white light appeared inside. Close your eyes and calmly sense the book spirit. Then let the book spirit consciously fuse with your soul. Granny Star said again. Qin Yun and Lan Chun followed Granny Star's instructions, and very soon they successfully absorbed the book's spirit. Granny Star, will these books become useless in the future? Qin Yun curiously asked. Of course not. These books are placed here. After a period of time, they will be able to breed a new book's soul. These books, in this star-picking pavilion, are the crystallization of the wisdom of the seniors. Granny Star kindly looked at Qin Yun and said, Xiao Yun, quickly absorb the book's spirit. Qin Yun nodded. He quickly opened one book after another. absorbed the book's spirit, and stored the content inside his illusory space. In the illusory space, Ling Yin could also obtain that knowledge, which made her very excited. She kept flapping her little wings and flying around to read books. Xiao Yin, your absorption speed is very fast, much faster than Xiaolon, Granny Star said with a smile. It seems like your soul is very strong. Qin Yin smiled and continued flipping through the books to absorb the book souls. He had absorbed 8 book souls, while Lan Shun had only absorbed 4. Of course, Lan Shun only had 5 books. He only needed to absorb 1 more. After Lan Shun finished absorbing the book souls of the 5 books, he closed his eyes and tried to read the knowledge. The process is rather easy, Lan Shun said with very satisfied smile. Granny Star, does Star Traveling Pagoda have any martial arts? No. Each pagoda doesn't have their own martial arts. 100 Pagoda Sect only provides cultivation resources and environment. If you want martial arts, you will have to use Regent Origin Stones to buy them from First Pagoda. Only First Pagoda has the qualification to sell all martial arts of 100 Pagoda Sect, Granny Star said. Qin Yin cursed softly. If it's a good martial art, wouldn't it be able to be sold many times? Granny Star said with a sigh. That is why First Pagoda is so strong. Of course, I can also impart some martial arts and martial skills to you, but they might not be suitable for you. First Pagoda sells martial arts that are similar to book souls. Moreover, they contain the insights of some experts, so the price is very high. Qin Yin has mastered some pretty good martial arts and cultivation methods. It is enough for now. If you have time, you can go to First Pagoda to take a look. First Pagoda relies on selling cultivation method souls to accumulate many Regent Origin Stones. They use them to cultivate many outstanding disciples, allowing First Pagoda to maintain its position as the #1 pagoda. This way, they will always have the qualification to sell cultivation methods. Qin Yin and Lan Shun entered 100 Pagoda Sect and found out that there are so many rules inside 100 Pagoda Sect. He absorbed the book souls of those 20 books and planned to carefully absorb the contents in the future when he had time. All right, let's go back. Granny Star is very happy. Her face is filled with beaming smile because her Star Traveling Pagoda finally has new disciples. Qin Yin and Lan Shun left Star Picking Pavilion. Qin Yin looked at the huge stars in the sky and said, Granny Star, there must be a lot of energy inside these stars. Can we absorb them and use them for cultivation? Originally, there was a star origin great formation here. It can condense star power. It was also the foundation of our Star Traveling Pagoda. But it was destroyed by First Pagoda. Granny Star became very angry talking about this matter. After it was destroyed, no one was able to set it up again. This is also one of the reasons why our Star Traveling Pagoda declined. Qin Yin immediately floated up, looked down, and said, Granny Star, is the Star Picking Pavilion at the center of the formation? Yes, yes, yes. Xiao Yin, how do you know? Granny Star said in amazement. I can see it. Qin Yin floated in the sky and used Extinction Spirit Eye to see that there is a very large ring revolving around the Star Picking Pavilion. Naked eye cannot see this ring. Qin Yin can use Extinction Spirit Eye to see it. Because this ring is formed from densely packed runes, it has been severely damaged, but there is still remnant energy inside. Qin Yin cannot help but exclaim in admiration because these runes have been damaged for many years, but the runes inside the formation are still very active. Granny Star, I might be able to restore it, but I need help. Qin Yin said, It would be best if I can find the runes of this great formation. It will be even easier to restore it. Granny Star looked at Qin Yin in amazement and said, Xiao Yun, the blueprint of the great formation is in my hands. Come down and take a look. Qin Yin promptly landed on the ground. Granny Star spread out a very large bee skin paper. There is only one large ring on it. It is carved with complete dark runes. The star-picking pavilion in the middle has not been drawn. Qin Yin carefully looked and said, They are all star runes. The most important thing is that the formation foundation, the star-picking pavilion, has not been destroyed. The star runes on the outside are the easiest part. I should be able to restore them. Star Traveling Pagoda seniors are truly awesome. They directly refine the star-picking pavilion into the formation foundation. Moreover, it is very stable. First Pagoda also destroyed the ring on the outside. They should not have known that the star-picking pavilion is the most important formation foundation. Granny Star is somewhat excited and said, Xiao Yun, you are truly awesome. We actually did not know about this. Back then, many seniors were either killed, captured, or ran away. Only Star Traveling Pagoda and Star-Picking Pavilion, as well as many low-level disciples, remained. Back then, I was the most important disciple. That is why I became the Pagoda Master. Qin Yun said with frown. It seems like there is some hidden conflict between Star Traveling Pagoda and First Pagoda that led to such an intense conflict back then. Granny Star shook her head and said, I was very young back then. I did not know what happened. I inexplicably received the Pagoda Master token and became the Pagoda Master. In a flash, more than 20,000 years passed by. Qin Yun said, Granny Star, can you call those senior brothers over? I need their help. I need them to condense a great amount of star spirit power. All right, I'll call them over. Granny Star is very excited and said, Shaolon, you are a new disciple. You will represent our Star Traveling Pagoda and participate in the new disciple competition. Just go and join the fun. Don't worry about ranking. Granny Star brought Lan Shun towards the teleportation formation and told him about the new disciple competition. The teleportation formation is also inside the Star Origin Great Formation. Qin Yun waited for less than half an hour. Those senior brothers arrived one after another through the teleportation formation. Under Qin Yun's guidance, they floated in the sky and formed a circle. Then they began condensing star spirit power together. The power of the star souls that they condensed were all channeled into that huge ring. Very soon, the dust on the surface of the circle flashed, and a golden circle appeared. Senior brothers, persevere for a period of time. Qin Yun yelled. He is walking on the circle. It is as if he is walking on a wide golden road. You can see many small star runes on the surface. They are all broken. If I use mineral resonance Xian Pen to repair them bit by bit, I don't know how long it will take. Qin Yun frowned. His heart is somewhat heavy. After thinking for a bit, he said, Yuner, help me use Nether Sun to devour the star spirit power released by those senior brothers. All right. Ling Yuner promptly did as instructed. Granny Star is at the side. She can see that the star spirit power released by those senior brothers are all pouring into Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun is walking on the golden road. He spread open his arms and released a great amount of star spirit power. He directly used Nether Sun Metal power to envelop the damaged star runes, and then used Star Lord Inscription Spirit to quickly repair the damaged star runes. Granny Star is incomparably shocked seeing this from the side. She has been looking for many inscription masters to repair this Star Origin Great Formation for many years, but none of them could repair it. Apparently, Qin Yun can very easily repair a large number of damaged star runes by himself. Granny Star is a very experienced and knowledgeable person, but she doesn't know how Qin Yun did it. Those senior brothers floating in the sky have been strenuously looking for a method to repair the formation for many years, but to no avail. Now that they see Qin Yun can repair it, they are endlessly pleasantly surprised. Granny Star and those senior brothers sincerely hope that Star Traveling Pagoda will become better. Therefore, they pass the test of star-picking pavilion and are very loyal and devoted. Qin Yun is very relieved to help them because none of them are bad people. Moreover, repairing the Star Origin Great Formation will be very helpful to him. Granny Star, how long will it take for senior brother Lan to participate in the martial arts competition? Qin Yun asked. He will be gone for about a month. It is a competition where some disciples exchange pointers and then go out to gain experience. Granny Star said with smile, Xiao Yun, if you can repair the Star Origin Great Formation, you will be our Pagoda Master. I don't dare. Qin Yun promptly refused. Chapter 943. Battle of the First Pagoda. Qin Yun does not want to be a Pagoda Master. It is very tiring, and he has to do many things. Granny Star, I want to cultivate in peace. I don't want to be pagoda master, Qin Yun said with smile. You are doing well. Continue being pagoda master. Xiao Yun, if it was someone else, they would definitely be eager to become the tower master. Why did you refuse? Granny Star is somewhat unable to understand. She continued, although our star-traveling pagoda is broken down, if we become pagoda master, we will have a certain status. Granny Star, if I become pagoda master, I won't have time to take care of star-traveling pagodas matters. I am very anxious to become stronger. Moreover, I sometimes go out and have no idea when I will return. Qin Yun said with bitter smile. Please spare me. Granny Star said with smile. That is easy. You will be the pagoda master, and I will be the vice pagoda master. I will help you manage star-traveling pagoda. Is that fine? After all, I've already made an agreement with the senior brothers that whoever can repair our star origin grand array will become the tower master. Qin Yun looked at those old senior brothers floating in the sky and said in low voice, Granny Star, I am only late-stage Martial King. How can I become pagoda master? Will my senior brothers not be convinced by me? When the senior brothers heard this, they all expressed their support for Qin Yun to become the pagoda master. Qin Yun is still repairing the star runes. He has not completely repaired the star origin grand array, but it looks like he will be able to repair it very soon. Granny Star said with smile, You see, everyone agrees with you. Don't refuse. When I was the pagoda master, I was only a middle Martial King realm cultivator. It'll be fine. Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, Let's talk about it after I repair the star origin great array. He was very satisfied that he could become a gold disciple from a silver disciple. But now, he was going to be the pagoda master. He couldn't get used to it. He had already planned to keep a low profile. If he became the pagoda master, wouldn't he be very famous? Granny Star said again, Our star-traveling pagoda's pagoda master selection has nothing to do with other pagoda. You don't have to worry about being looked down upon by the other pagoda masters. Many pagodas have had martial kings as pagoda masters before. Qin Yun nodded and said, Let's have a good discussion after we repair the star origin grand array. Besides, without the help of senior brothers, I would not be able to repair this celestial essence grand array. I don't dare to take all the credit. An old senior brother said with a smile, Little Yun, if you hadn't taken the lead to repair the star origin great array, we might have died of old age. This is all thanks to you. The other senior brothers also nodded in agreement. Qin Yun felt that he was definitely going to be the pagoda master. Granny Star and those tens of senior brothers are all very happy right now. The astral souls they released seem to be filled with a joyous aura. Only Qin Yun is somewhat gloomy because he wants to become the pagoda master. After more than 10 days, Qin Yun and dozens of senior brothers worked together to finally repair the ring outside. The moment it was repaired, the star-picking pavilion shone brightly. The stars in the surroundings shone with all sorts of starlight. The star-picking pavilion absorbed the power of the giant star in the sky and immediately became extremely beautiful. Its entire body turned into white jade, like a jade building surrounded by immortal energy. Very good, very good. Granny Star is very excited and promptly supported Qin Yun. Qin Yun was nearly drained of Elysian Moon's psyche power. Everyone enter, Granny Star yelled, and then brought Qin Yun into the star-picking pavilion. The interior of the star-picking pavilion is filled with dense star power. As soon as Qin Yun entered, he began absorbing the star power. His nether moon also became very active, greedily absorbing the star power to restore his mental power. What caused Qin Yun to be amazed is that those old and yellowed books on the bookshelves have now become very gorgeous. The covers of these books look like crystals. Blue, red, gold, and white, all kinds of crystal covers are lingering with sparkling radiance. It is very beautiful. It is as if the star-picking pavilion has suddenly come back to life. The star-picking pavilion has finally come back to life. Our star-traveling pagoda won't have to suffer anymore. Granny Star is very excited. The star-picking pavilion has several floors. Each floor is very big and can accommodate many people. Those senior brothers are either sitting on the ground or sitting on chairs to absorb the dense star power. Qin Yun suddenly discovered that the star power is filled with faint immortal energy. He suspects that there is a very large immortal origin inside this small star. Are all senior brothers star martial artists? Qin Yun asked. Indeed. For many years, they have been cultivating star power according to Star Traveling Pagoda's cultivation method. Now that the star origin great formation has been restored, they will surely break through very quickly and have a very long lifespan. Granny Star said with a smile. Such a rich star power would be of great help to those senior apprentice brothers. Many senior brothers whose faces are filled with wrinkles. After absorbing the star power for a while, it is as if they're being nourished and their wrinkles gradually reduced. Xiao Yun, I will give you the Pagoda Master token. Granny Star took out a crystal token, placed it on her palm, and said, Xiao Yun, place your hand on the token. I will hand over the Pagoda Master position to you. Granny Star, you should take over. I don't care about the Pagoda Master position. Qin Yun said with a smile. That won't do. I am a man of my word. Rest assured, you only need to accept the Pagoda Master position. Other matters of Star Traveling Pagoda will be handled by me and other senior brothers. It will not take up your time. Granny Star said with benevolent smile. Granny Star can see that Qin Yun's rune restoration ability is top-notch. She is also very curious as to why Qin Yun is so awesome, but she did not ask. All right. Qin Yun placed his hand on Granny Star's crystal token. Just wait for a while. Granny Star said. Qin Yun nodded. Very soon, he sensed that the crystal token is gradually reacting with him. It is a very subtle feeling. After a while, Qin Yun said in amazement, Granny Star, this crystal token seems very awesome. Granny Star said with a smile, Xiao Yun, you are indeed worthy of being a brilliant inscription master. You can actually see through it. This is a very strong thing. It has been refined and improved by us Pagoda Masters. As for what kind of ability it has, you can discover it yourself. Qin Yun nodded and began earnestly fiddling with the crystal token. Oh, that's right, Xiao Yun. You are now the Pagoda Master, but you are still young and your cultivation is low. You can still participate in 100 Pagoda Sex activities and obtain resources. Granny Star said with a smile. Furthermore, you hold our Star Traveling Pagoda's Sacred Star token, so you are the Pagoda Master. You are the same generation as all the Pagoda Masters. Apart from the Pagoda Masters, everyone else must call you Senior. Qin Yun said with a smile. There is no need for such etiquette in our Star Traveling Pagoda. From now on, you are still Granny Star. Senior brothers are still senior brothers. You can just call me Xiao Yun. Granny Star nodded with a smile. Let's go, let's go. Let's see if Xiao Lan has returned or not. Other senior brothers are still cultivating here. Qin Yun and Granny Star left through the Starry Sky teleportation formation and arrived at the Shabby Star Traveling Pagoda. As soon as Qin Yun came out, he sensed a familiar aura. Lan Shun has returned. Apart from him, there is also another acquaintance. It is a white-clothed, grave, and stern-looking one-armed man. He is precisely Xia Wufeng. Boss Xia. When Qin Yun saw Xia Wufeng, he excitedly rushed over and grabbed Xia Wufeng's shoulders. Old boy Yun. Xia Wufeng faintly smiled, then patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with a smile, Long time no see. If my guess is not wrong, that venerable master whose name shook 100 Pagoda City is you, old boy. Boss Xia, you are also very awesome. You are just peak martial king, yet you are evenly matched with Murong Tianjia. Qin Yun said with a smile. Xia Wufeng is also very excited to see Qin Yun here. When they were young, they experienced many things together. Then they were separated for a very long time, and now they finally meet again. Lan Shun said with a smile, Xiao Yun, I found out that Xiao Xia has arrived during the martial art competition. I sent him sound transmission saying that you are here, and he immediately came with me. Granny Star said with a smile, Xiao Yun, so you are the venerable master whose name has shaken 100 Pagoda City. No wonder. Xia Wufeng looked all around and said with a sigh, Star Traveling Pagoda has fallen into such dire straits. It is all thanks to First Pagoda. Xiao Yun, I believe that with your ability, you can surely bring back Star Traveling Pagoda's former glory. Xia Wufeng is very familiar with Star Traveling Pagoda's history. He is also very clear about Qin Yun's ability. Granny Star said, Xiao Xia, you are from Divine Sword Pagoda. I heard that you are preparing to challenge First Pagoda to fight for first place. Do you have confidence? Xia Wufeng shook his head. I was ordered to probe Yi Yaoshua's strength. She is very strong. Our Divine Sword Pagoda's late-stage martial emperors will find it very difficult to defeat her. Yi Yaoshua is the chief disciple. She is mid-stage martial emperor. The highest one can challenge her is late-stage martial emperor, and she is ranked 10th in the entire 100 Pagoda sect. The 9 people above her are all peak martial emperors. Therefore, if one wants to defeat Yi Yaoshua, one must be peak martial emperor. Just like this, First Pagoda's chief disciple will be able to steadily defend against her. To obtain the title of First Pagoda, Pagoda Master must defeat Pagoda Master. Chief Disciple must defeat Chief Disciple. Finally, they must compare the power of Pagoda's beast. Only by winning in all aspects can one become First Pagoda. Granny Star said with sigh. Xia Wufeng nodded. Indeed, our Divine Sword Pagoda's Pagoda Master can defeat First Pagoda's Pagoda Master, but we cannot defeat Chief Disciple and Pagoda Beast. So after I probed Yaoshua's strength, we gave up on challenging First Pagoda. Lan Shan said, Xiao Yun, didn't you help Kong Feiqing become peak martial king and break through to martial emperor? You should also help Xiao Xia break through. Xia Wufeng said with smile, Old Lan, that is just a rumor. I only need some time to become peak martial king. How can it be easy to steadily break through? Even our Pagoda Master can't do anything about it. Qin Yun said with smile, Boss Xia, you are looking down on me. I can really do it. Lan Qin said with mischievous smile, Xiao Xia, your little brother Yun's great master title is not just for show. Chapter 944. Revival Granny Star is also looking at Qin Yun with amazement. Peak Martial King and Martial Emperor are only one step apart. Generally speaking, as long as one's talent is not bad, one can break through after enduring for a period of time. As for how long one must endure, it varies from person to person. Moreover, it also depends on luck. Some people can endure for thousands to tens of thousands of years and still not be able to break through. And Qin Yun can forcibly break through from peak Martial King to Martial Emperor. This kind of ability is simply shocking. Boss Xia, how many Regent Origin Stones do you have? Qin Yun asked. I have 20 mid-quality Regent Origin Stones. After absorbing the energy inside, I will be able to break through. It will take at least 100 years. Xia Wufeng said. Qin Yun took out a talisman and said with smile, Boss Xia, take out your Regent Origin Stone. After Xia Wufeng took out a Regent Origin Stone, Qin Yun stuck the talisman on it. The energy inside the Regent Origin Stone immediately poured out in torrents and flooded the entire hall, illuminating the dilapidated Star Traveling Pagoda's hall. Qin Yun promptly took off the talisman to prevent the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone from leaking out. Seeing this scene, Granny Star and Xia Wufeng are dumbstruck in shock, because Qin Yun can actually release the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone very quickly. It must be known that even if a person can absorb energy from many Regent Origin Stones at the same time, it is very limited. Moreover, energy from many Regent Origin Stones repel each other. They cannot be absorbed together. Therefore, one can only absorb energy one by one. But the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone is very difficult to absorb. It requires a very long time. Moreover, Qin Yun used a talisman to make the energy inside the Regent Origin Stone burst out. Boss Xia, this talisman is enough for you to use 20 Regent Origin Stones. I guess you will be able to break through in around 10 days. Qin Yun faintly smiled and handed over the talisman to Xia Wufeng. Xia Wufeng deeply inhaled a mouthful of air, suppressing the shock and ecstasy in his heart. He said with smile, Old boy Yun, I will not take your talisman for free. Name a price. It will be very difficult to refine. We are brothers. Why are you being so polite with me? I'm giving it to you, Qin Yun said with smile. If that little girl wants to kill me in the future, just help me. If I become a martial emperor, even if I can't defeat her, it won't be a problem to block her for a period of time. Xiao Wufeng smiled. I heard that she promised to marry you, but she went back on her word. Let me know when you're ready to capture her. I'll go with you. All right, Qin Yun said with smile. Xiao Wufeng also knows that Qin Yun doesn't lack anything. Furthermore, Qin Yun doesn't like the things he gave him. Boss Xie, after you become martial emperor, can you defeat Murong Tianjia? Qin Yun asked. Of course, Lan Shen replied. When Xiao Xie was a peak stage martial king, he was able to fight Murong Tianjia to a draw. If he broke through, wouldn't it be even more dreadful? He will definitely crush Murong Tianjia easily. Xiao Wufeng just smiled. Boss Xie, there's a Jin family in the ordinary realm with many sword cultivators. If you have the opportunity in the future, maybe you can communicate with them. I can introduce you to them. Qin Yun said with smile. If you see second brother Murong and third brother Hua, don't tell them that I am here. All right, I will. Xiao Wufeng nodded and said, I will go back first. Lan Shen said with smile. I will also go compete. My luck is pretty good. I won a few rounds. Those bastards all thought that I, a disciple of Star Traveling Pagoda, was a fake, and then I defeated them one by one. Xiaolan, don't force yourself. Don't get injured. Granny Star warned. I know, Lan Shen said with smile, then followed Xiao Wufeng and left. Granny Star and Qin Yun sent off Xiao Wufeng and Lan Shen and returned to the shabby Star Traveling Pagoda. Xiao Yun, making you the pagoda master is the right decision, Granny Star said with smile. You are a venerable master proficient in inscription. You should know that apart from me, all the previous pagoda masters were inscription masters. I helped you pick out many star runes from the books. You should properly study them. Qin Yun nodded and said, Granny Star, how about we renovate this Star Traveling Pagoda? Granny Star said with smile. Simple renovation will do. This pagoda was attacked by those people from First Pagoda, but it did not collapse. The materials used are very good. Wait for those senior brothers to come out, then we can start renovating it. All right. Qin Yun sat down. He also hopes that those senior brothers will become more spirited. If he has the help of those senior brothers, he will be able to refine the trap formation very quickly. Granny Star said, Xiao Yun, how about you become the chief disciple? Our Star Traveling Pagoda still doesn't have a chief disciple. Qin Yun said with smile, I am already the pagoda master. Let old Lan be the chief disciple. Granny Star said, the chief disciple must be able to block people one level higher than you. For example, you're now late-stage martial king. You must be able to block peak-stage martial kings. Although Xiaolan is mid-stage martial king, if a stronger late-stage martial king comes to challenge him, he won't be able to block. Rest assured, if others come to challenge you, you can also refuse. Qin Yun thought about it and said, all right then, as the chief disciple, I can also challenge people everywhere, right? Granny Star said with smile, indeed. Wait until your strength is enough, then you can go challenge First Pagoda's Yaoshua. That arrogant little girl was very cocky in front of me before. You must marry her. Qin Yun shook his head and laughed. Next, Granny Star told Qin Yun many things regarding the pagoda master position. Although there are internal strife within 100 Pagoda sect, when facing the provocation of external powers, they must unite and work together to repel the external enemies. After all, this is related to the face of the entire 100 Pagoda sect. Qin Yun also inquired about Dragon sect and the 8-9 Sun sects in passing. He did not gain much information. He only learned that Dragon sect and many other sects are at war. Although they are in a temporary truce, their situation is very dangerous. Qin Yun only hopes that Jin family can seize this opportunity to take down Dragon Sect and gain a foothold in Xian Domain. Granny Star also left Star Traveling Pagoda to register as the chief disciple of Star Traveling Pagoda. Qin Yun also took advantage of this time to read the contents of the book Spirits. Ling Yuner said with smile, Xiao Yun, if there is anything you don't understand, you can ask me. I've already read the contents of the book Spirits. Qin Yun said, Is there anything related to ancient domain? There is. Ling Yuner said, There's a book that records about traveling through the star sea. It mentions that there's a star field filled with abundant energy. There are trillions of pavilions floating in the void. Could it be that it is ancient domain? Qin Yun said with frown. It should be. It also says that there are 108 white stars as big as the sun inside the ancient domain. They form a very large formation that protects the inside. Moreover, it can move. Sometimes it is very difficult to find. Ling Yuner said again, Does it say how to go there? Qin Yun asked. It does. But it is very far away. It is impossible to find it within 1,000 years. It seems like we can only wait for Xiao Tian. Ling Yuner said, Yu Shuqian's ancient star pagoda is the same as star-traveling pagoda. It has a lot of star knowledge. It is even more than star-traveling pagoda. Because star-traveling pagoda has declined for 20 to 30,000 years, and ancient star pagoda has always been developing. Soon after, Qin Yun began reading the Star Rune book and obtained a lot of knowledge regarding the usage of star runes. What caused Qin Yun to be amazed is that he is very familiar with many of the star runes recorded in the book. Many of them are almost the same as the star runes he obtained from Inscription Gate. Qin Yun can also see that these are two different people comprehending star runes from the same starry sky. Although they look the same, some of the details are very different. This is worth studying. This will allow Qin Yun to combine the advantages of both of them and make the star runes even better and stronger. Most of the star runes Qin Yun has mastered are low level. Most of them are spirit tier star runes. And now, he can improve the spirit tier star runes into Xian tier star runes and even Dao tier star runes. Naturally, this will require time to slowly improve them. A few days passed by. Granny Star and those senior brothers are cultivating inside the star origin great formation, and they have become very spirited. Especially those senior brothers. Many of their faces were full of wrinkles. Some of them looked like dried-up oil lamps. But now they have broken through. The wrinkles on their faces have decreased by a lot. Some of them even have skin as tender as a baby. After all, they have been stuck at Bottleneck for many years, and they don't have any cultivation resources. Now they have suddenly absorbed a great amount of star power and broke through Bottleneck. These senior brothers are very grateful to Qin Yun. Therefore, when Qin Yun asked them to help him set up the formation, they very straightforwardly agreed. With the help of a group of star warriors, it only took Qin Yun 5 days to set up the trap formation that was based on the star runes. After he finished setting up the trap formation, he left 100 Pagoda Sect and went to report to Ing Qingyu. Qin Yun handed over the formation to Ing Qingyu and obtained 5 Regent Origin Stones. Then he quickly returned to Star Traveling Pagoda. From Ing Qingyu, he found out that many people are looking for him. They are all powerful martial emperors from First Pagoda and other pagoda. They are all people who want to curry favor with Yi Yaoxue. They are all looking for Qin Yun. They want to teach him a lesson and vent Yi Yaoxue's anger. Many martial emperors of 100 Pagoda Sect are looking for Qin Yun, but they don't know that Qin Yun is inside 100 Pagoda Sect and has even become a pagoda master. Qin Yun returned to Star Traveling Pagoda. Just as he arrived at the entrance, he sensed Lan Chen's aura. Lan Chen has returned from the martial art competition, but his aura is not right. Old Lan is seriously injured. Qin Yun's brows creased. He promptly rushed inside and saw that Lan Chen is covered in cuts and bruises. There is not a single part of his body that is not injured. Most dreadful thing is, all his fingers have been cut off. His head is badly mangled. Granny Star's brows are tightly frowning. Her expression is filled with grief as she is treating Lan Chen's injuries. Other senior brothers' faces are filled with anger and sadness. They took out all kind of medicinal ingredients and applied them on Lan Chen's injuries. Qin Yun tightly clenched his fists. Cracking sounds can be heard. Granny Star, what is going on? Martial arts competition is just martial arts competition. How did old Lan become like this? Qin Yun furiously said in deep voice. They They discovered my star totem. Lan Shen's voice is very weak, but it is filled with anger. They wanted to cut off my scalp and plunder my star totem. Luckily, Miss You and the others took action and saved me. Qin Yan asked in cold voice, "Who did it?" Lan Shen is somewhat worried about Qin Yan, so he did not say anything. Granny Star furiously said, "It must be Precious Dragon Pagoda's people who did it. Those guys are secretly colluding with Dragon Sect, but they have no proof. They are very fond of destroying outstanding disciples inside 100 Pagoda Sect." Chapter 945. Under Refining Plaza Lawn, Chen hastily yelled, "Xiao Yun, don't go. Those guys are very arrogant. Moreover, I was defeated on the battle stage. It was my carelessness." Qin Yan walked back and asked, "Old Lan, I can also be arrogant on the battle stage. I can also defeat them on the battle stage. You are now my senior brother, a disciple of our star, traveling pagoda. They deliberately attacked you so heavily because they saw that our star, traveling pagoda strength is weak." Granny Star took out the light Rune Dao talisman from Qin Yun and began healing Lan Shen's injuries. She nodded and said, "Xiao Yun is now our star, traveling pagoda's pagoda master. He is also the chief disciple. Let Xiao Yun teach them a lesson." Hearing these words, Lan Shen, who is very weak, immediately became spirited in amazement. His voice also became a lot louder. He opened his bloodshot eyes, looked at Qin Yun, and asked, "Is this true? Xiao Yun, you are the pagoda master? Old Lan, quickly tell me, how can we teach those bastards a lesson? If we don't teach them a lesson, later, any random cat or dog will come here to cause trouble for you." Qin Yun's expression is gloomy as he said in cold voice, "You expose your star totem. They will not let you off like this." Lan Shen carefully thought about it. He feels that Qin Yun's strength is not weak. He lightly sighed and said, "In the southeast direction, there's a very spacious 100 refining plaza. There are 8 battle stages there. The defending disciples are all very strong." He ate a pill given by Granny Star, and his complexion became a lot better. He continued, "To challenge the defending disciples, you need to pay at least 1 million purple crystal coins. The more purple crystal coins you pay, the faster you can challenge the defending disciples." Granny Star said with frown, "They are using this kind of method this time? If the defending disciples can successfully defend, they will get a Regent Origin Stone as a reward." Lan Shen said again, "The third battle stage is for Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples. Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples this time are very strong. They are late-stage martial kings. They're defending first and third battle stage. Arena number 1 and number 3, right? Which one of them injured you?" Qin Yun saw Lan Shen's severed finger, and his fury rose up. "Number 3, Lan Shen warned repeatedly. "Xiao Yun, the guy on the third stage has master divine ability and very strong martial spirit mysterious art. That guy has the Black Dragon martial spirit. I will go now." Qin Yun finished speaking and rushed towards the 100 refining plaza with his fastest speed. Qin Yun flew southeast. On the way, he encountered 2 old men. He descended and greeted them. He found out that the 2 middle-aged men were martial emperors of ancient Star Pagoda. They were the ones who brought Lan Shen back. Ancient Star Pagoda and Star Traveling Pagoda have some relationship. Moreover, Star Traveling Pagoda had helped Ancient Star Pagoda in the past. Therefore, sometimes, Ancient Star Pagoda will secretly take care of the fallen Star Traveling Pagoda. Junior Brother Qin, are you going to the 100 Refining Plaza to settle the debt with those people from Precious Dragon Pagoda? It's best if you don't go. You'll get injured." An old man sighed and advised with good intentions. "Senior brother, don't worry. Nothing will happen to me." Qin Yun said, "Junior brother, Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples are very fierce. If you go on stage to fight, you must grasp the opportunity to concede," another old man advised. "Got it." Qin Yun nodded. Less than half an hour later, Qin Yun and the 2 senior brothers finally arrived at the 100 Refining Plaza. The 100 Refining Plaza is a 10,000 meters wide circular plaza. There are tree roots that are as tall as a kilometer and huge formation pillars surrounding the plaza, forming a great formation. Outside the spacious 100 Refining Plaza, there are very tall mountains all around. In order to build this huge plaza, many mountains were flattened. After Qin Yin arrived, he quickly found the third battle stage on the plaza. This battle stage is very big. It is a square battle stage. It is protected by formation pillars. It is around 200 to 300 meters wide. Qin Yin took out a piece of cloth and covered his chin and nose. Only his eyes and forehead are exposed. He walked down from the third battle stage and saw Lan Qin's severed fingers on the battle stage. During martial arts competition, one can't use weapons and magic tools. Otherwise, they will be detected by the battle stage's formation. And Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples can sever Lan Qin's fingers and cut them neatly. They must have transformed their power into sharp blades. On other battle stages, there are disciples challenging the battle masters. There are also many disciples watching from the sidelines. Majority of the spectators are old disciples. There are only 200 new disciples participating in the competition. The third battle stage is deserted because no one is challenging the battle master. The battle master standing on the stage is a middle-aged man with fierce-looking face. His hands are crossed on his chest. His expression is filled with arrogance. This is the person who seriously injured Lan Qin. His name is Xiajian. He is a new disciple of Precious Dragon Pagoda. The disciples who participated in the assessment back then were only mid-stage martial kings. And Xiajian is now late-stage martial king. It means that he broke through after passing the assessment. Therefore, he has a great advantage. In fact, some disciples have elders suppressing their cultivation so that they cannot break through and can participate in the assessment. Qin Yin took out a purple crystal card, walked towards the referee of the third battle stage, and said, "I want to challenge the battle stage. Please show your disciple badge. Only golden disciples can challenge the battle stage." The old referee said. A touch of amazement flashed through his eyes. The battle master of the third battle stage is a late-stage martial king. Although Qin Yun's face is covered, it can be seen that he is very young. The old referee feels that Qin Yun challenging the savage Xiajian is very irrational. Apart from first and third battle stage, there are people queuing up for other battle stages. It can be seen how frightening Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples are. Qin Yin took out his golden badge and handed it over. Xiajian's face is filled with arrogance. His eyes are filled with sinister and ruthless expression. He is looking at Qin Yin with ominous glint. It is like a jackal, wolf, tiger, or leopard looking at a little sheep. "Qin Xiaoyan, Star Traveling Pagoda," the old referee said in amazement. After Xiajian heard this, he burst into loud laughter and said, "After Star Traveling Pagoda's Baldy was carried away, another little idiot came." Sure enough, people who go to Star Traveling Pagoda are all idiots. Everyone heard Xiajian's voice and simultaneously looked over and saw Qin Yun's face covered. Lan Qin was beaten up just now. Anyone who saw it would never forget it. And now, there is actually someone who dares to challenge Xiajian. Moreover, he is a new disciple of Star Traveling Pagoda. Qin Yun handed over his purple crystal card. "Pay 1,000,000 purple crystal coins, and you can go on stage, right?" The old referee said with frown. "Little brother, have you thought it through?" Qin Yun said with powerful and confident voice. "I have thought it through. I want to go on stage." Another golden disciple of Star Traveling Pagoda challenged Precious Dragon Pagoda's Xiajian. This immediately caused a small commotion. This attracted the attention of the spectators who were watching the duels in the other dueling rings. Not long after, the third stage has been completely surrounded. Yu Shutian, Hong Mengshu, Gong Fian, and Kong Feiqing are also on the 100 Refining Plaza. Hong Mengshu and Yu Shutian are only watching, they are not participating. They said many threatening words before to save Lan Qin. And now, another disciple of Star Traveling Pagoda is challenging Xiajian. "Is it Xiaoyan?" Kong Feiqing looked at Yu Shutian and Hong Mengshu and asked in low voice. Star Traveling Pagoda's Golden Disciple. Brother Yin should not be a golden disciple, Hong Mengshu said in low voice. The person who is going on stage is called Qin Xiaoyun. Is that Xiaoyun's real name? Kong Feiqing said with frown. Hong Mengshu's elegant brows are slightly creased. Her beautiful eyes are filled with shock as she looked at the third stage not far away. She knows Qin Yun's name and is sure that Qin Xiaoyun is indeed Qin Yun. However, she is very curious as to how Qin Yun became a golden disciple. Lanchan also did not tell them about Qin Yun becoming a golden disciple. Yu Shetian also looked at the masked blue-clothed man, slightly sighed and said, "If it is a Yun, we don't need to worry." She is very clear about Qin Yun's strength. Gong Fian's phoenix eyes are filled with doubt as she looked at Qin Yun's back and said in low voice, "How did a Yun become a golden disciple? He did not pass the assessment. He is definitely not an imposter because his name is on the golden token." Qin Yun walked onto the Baiwo diagram. Many people immediately started shouting, "Another one has come to die." It is rare for Star Traveling Pagoda to have two new young disciples, but now they're going to be crippled. Precious Dragon Pagoda's disciples will surely be able to boast for a while. Haha, this guy is still masked. Is he worried that he will lose miserably and people will remember his face? That Baldy was almost killed earlier. Luckily, Ancient Star Pagoda's people saved him. Otherwise, he would have already died. You guys look. He is picking up that Baldy's fingers. Haha. He came here to pick up fingers. All the spectating disciples are looking at the battle stage very happily. Qin Yun picked up Lan Chen's fingers and put them away. Then he looked at the referee below the stage and calmly asked, "Can people be killed on the battle stage?" The old referee is stunned and said, "Yes." Qin Yun nodded and said, "Then let's begin now." Everyone heard his question and burst into sneer. He Xiaojian even more arrogantly laughed loudly. "Brat, you want to kill me to take revenge for that Baldy? Ha. Even though I can't get a star totem, I will smash his scalp and destroy his star totem." The power within Qin Yun's body, along with his fury, immediately rushed to every part of his body. The more he is angry, the more calm he is. The power of anger within his body is being suppressed by calmness and is becoming stronger and stronger. The old referee struck a gong and the battle began. He Xiaojian, I ask you, you want to seize the star totem? Is it your idea or is it your precious Dragon Pagoda's idea? Qin Yun's gaze became cold. His killing intent became more and more dense. Is our precious Dragon Pagoda's idea what? Could it be that your Star Traveling Pagoda wants to take revenge on our precious Dragon Pagoda? You youngsters should save your strength to collect the corpses of those old men. A middle-aged man below the stage laughed loudly and said. Everyone also roared with laughter. Xiaojian, properly enjoy the process. Slowly toy with that brat to death. That middle-aged man from Precious Dragon Pagoda laughed loudly and yelled. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.